one of the most long-running, prestigious tournaments in independent wrestling.
IWC Super Indy champion, Gory!
It is one of the most prestigious professional wrestling tournaments in all this country, dare I say the globe. A 17-year annual tradition that has launched stars and created memories and moments indelibly etched in time. Super Indy gets bigger and bigger every year. It may be the most wide-open field ever. I am Joe Dombrowski here at the Court Time Sports Center in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. My colleague Jay Worthington Farnsworth with me as well, as we see the man who has been synonymous with Super Indy over the past 10 months, the man who's been in more tournaments than anyone, the man who worked longer than anyone to get here, the New Age plague Gory. But Jayworth, is this the beginning of the end of Gory's lifelong dream?
Well, the problem is, it doesn't matter how good of a champion you are. Once you hit Super Indy, all bets are off, as you then have to go through the gauntlet just like everyone else. I certainly don't doubt that he has the bona fides to get through it, but
All right,
it's easy to say.
Time, as everybody knows, per Super Indy tradition, for Gory to hand over the Super Indy Championship. Gory, if you go on to win tonight's tournament, the title will return to you, and your reign will continue uninterrupted in the record books. However, if at any point you lose, the title will be temporarily vacated and awarded to the winner of Super Indy 17.
11 years ago, I had to hand this title over. I'm not letting that happen again.
Gory is referencing Super Indy 6 when Gory won the championship earlier in the evening in a non-tournament matchup, only to surrender it at the end of the night to tournament winner Larry Sweeney. Gory was champion for 90 minutes tops. That was back before the Super Indy champion defended the title as part of the tournament. Gory, that was a bittersweet moment for over a decade. Gory does not want that to happen again tonight, Jayworth.
We have well documented how that was a driving force behind Gory and his quest to get that belt back.
Not to mention that brooding hatred as we get set to kick off Super Indy 17 officially with quarterfinal round action. Just a heartbeat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for your first contest of the evening? The following contest is an opening round match in the 17th annual Super Indy Tournament.
Why is there a table at ringside, Jayworth?
Is this a hardcore match?
No, it's a Super Indy quarterfinal round match. Oh my. No one proclaimed Argos two-time Rookie of the Year except Argos. Those are not official trophies. He paid for them himself. But if Argos is successful on this night, the Super Indy Championship will be his. And I guess, what is this, the de facto Jaxon Argos trophy case?
I mean, I guess there's a sign there for where he intends to put the title between his two trophies.
The sign says reserved for the Super Indy Championship. And I'll give credit, Jayworth. As you see RC Dupree by his side, Jaxon Argos has had the number of Jonathan Gresham. Will Argos stay lucky or really pay penance? Gresham has been having career matchups in Ring of Honor and all throughout the world. But the biggest snag, the biggest hiccup
Ladies and gentlemen, before this match starts, I have just been informed that R.C. Dupree and Jack Pollock have both been barred from ringside for this match.
I like it. And you can tell Team Storm was not prepared for that news.
Well, clearly they were. Jackson Pollock isn't even out here yet.
Well, Jack Pollock is preparing for his own life flashing before his eyes later. He'll be one-on-one with the notorious Shane Taylor making his return. But Dupree can go to the back and salt. You might be kissing this one goodbye, Dupree.
You know, the Canadians are some of the nicest, most polite people you're ever going to meet. I don't know that you need to be this rude to them.
They're not Canadians. They're Canadian sympathizers. They're all American.
It's pretty much Canadian.
They just trained in Calgary.
Look at his floppy head. There might be some Canadian. Oh, good night.
Oh, Gresham explodes! This may not last long. Argos defeated Gresham in a submission match at 17. And that was the shocker of the year, maybe the shocker of the decade, and it's been stewing in Gresham's mind ever since as he explodes in a big-time way in the early going.
Did you hear him yell Argos as he drop-kicked him in the corner? You can tell that he's been thinking about that kick for months.
Ouch! And Gresham asking to clear the way. Winning this matchup to face the winner of Ethan Page and Joey Janella. We'll see if he even gets far enough for Argos to consider that.
Right now, I got to say, it's not looking good for the two-time Rookie of the Year.
To say the least, it's looking downright bleak. Argos defeated Gresham in a submission match. Argos is heralded the world over as a submission master. To Gresham, that was an embarrassing loss. And everybody move. Full velocity, momentum, right to the face of Jaxon Argos. And this goes back to last summer, Jay, where Argos eliminated Gresham from War Games. And there's a lot of people here in the locker room and the crowd up here that have been waiting to see this happen to Argos for a long time.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to say, with Gresham, you can actually almost see a smile on his face. He's enjoying what he's doing at the moment.
This is Gresham's third straight Super Indy. We'll talk more about that as this match progresses. As I think we're going to get the fans' wish coming true. Oh. One more. Gresham made a count.
Just got boot right to the head, and then the only place that head could go was into the railing. That divider that we have.
Yeah, either that or it's going to fly off his shoulders eventually.
Yeah.
If you're Gresham, are you all about... Oh, are you about revenge, or are you about getting this over as quick as possible to save your endurance?
Oh, it's probably a little of column A, a little of column B. The thing is, Gresham has endurance to spare. So he can probably enjoy himself a little here.
Oh. Super Indy finalists the last 2 years, 15 and 16. And check this out, Gresham is so good at contorting the human body, there is no wasted motion, he is meticulous.
He now has both arms trapped with one leg. And now just putting pressure on those joints.
Just bending back, wrenching back all of his own body weight, pushing Argos' body in a way it wasn't meant to go. 2 count only that time. And Gresham has so many different methods in his arsenal, ways to trap you, ways to beat you, ways to hurt you. It's impossible to prepare for all of them.
Well, there was a good example right there. It was a shoulder lock and an arm lock. And then while he was holding on to that, he worked a heel hook into it.
Oh, boot to the face. I think Argos' trophy case may retain its vacancy at this rate. Gresham went to slip underneath the bottom rope. Baseball slide, and Argos is desperately flailing away.
And Argos finally getting a chance to catch his breath and shake off those cobwebs, figure out what he wants to do here.
Ooh. Gresham back first into the guardrail. Argos breaks the count, cognizant of that count, thankfully, for his sake.
Well, if you're going to win the Super Indy, you can't get counted out, Joe. That's one of the rules.
Well, yeah, that would be helpful. I mean, if you're Argos, what do? Obviously, he planned to have Dupree out here. That backfired. I don't know what he expected from Gresham, but did Argos build up in his mind that he was technically better than Gresham?
Well, I mean, he has the wins to prove it. You know he believes he's better than Gresham.
Well, Gresham doesn't believe that, I guarantee you that.
Well, no, it's up to Argos to convince him.
Yeah, that's a long road to haul. Jockeying for position here. He's going to get the leverage. Oh, God! Argos got pushed into his own trophy case. Awards are flying, plaques are flying. Argos in just a bunch of wreckage, which may be symbolic of where his Super Indy dreams will end up.
I mean, that seems a little rude.
I mean, the trophy's broke. Argos is violently sent into that table. And suplex. Oh, no. God! No padding, no protection. Gymnasium-style floor. Gresham hits with a thud.
You can see on Gresham's face as soon as he hit just how bad that hurt.
And Argos wants that count-out you referenced. Argos will beat Gresham any way he can.
He will happily take a count-out to advance in this tournament.
And this crowd is absolutely electric. We're at 6. We're more than halfway to Argos advancing to the semifinals.
And Gresham isn't even to his feet yet.
Argos may really have Gresham's number. We're at 9. This thing will be it. Gresham in at about 9.5. And Gresham has had nagging knee problems in recent months.
Well, I'm sure he's probably going to have a back problem or two now.
Gresham, it was touch and go for him earlier this year. We thought he was back 100% in March. Not entirely sure.
Gresham keeping his weight low to block that suplex attempt.
At low center of gravity, Gresham is underneath Argos. This crowd is amazing.
Look at this!
Gresham leverages Argos over.
That was just sheer strength. He just decided he didn't care what was going on. He was picking him up and putting him back down.
Notice Gresham having to kick his legs to get the momentum to just get off his back. That mobility in his back has been severely compromised.
Well, it might be cramping up. It might be tightening up. You kick those legs around a little, try and keep your back as loose as you can.
Ooh.
You can tell he's not running as fast as he was.
Hard series of chops. And Argos trying to match Gresham strike for strike. Easier said than done.
And this crowd somewhat split, Joe.
Argos is a polarizing individual. Gresham is daring Argos to hit him as hard as he can. The physicality is absolutely off the page. Argos out on his feet, or so we thought. Slip underneath. Canadian Maple Leaf. Shades of his trainer Lance Storm. The wide, deep stance. Gresham could tap it out to Argos.
Center of the ring. Perfect placement.
Shades of 17, but no Dupree, no illegal tactics. Argos can get a submission clean. Gresham was out practically unconscious last time. Now he's fighting. Now he's contemplating.
The only thing he has going for him is that's more of a knee lock than a back maneuver. And he hasn't really worked the knee yet. We know he's had knee issues, but the offense hasn't been centered on the knee yet. There we go.
Can you believe the bridge on Gresham? Amazing upper body strength. Amazing. When Gresham raised his body up, that accelerated the pressure on the knee and to an extent on the back. But Gresham knew he had to do that in order to escape.
It was the only way out. Now he's lowering that protective knee pad. I guess trying to relieve some pressure.
Yeah, Gresham doing the best he can here to make this comfortable and mobile for himself. I notice there is medical tape under that knee pad.
Yeah, it looks like he has it wrapped tight.
And I'll give credit to Argos going shot for shot with the octopus.
Well, we've talked about, Gresham being in several tournaments. Let's not forget, Argos wants this just as bad as Gresham. Argos has been planning and preparing. He's not going to give up just because he gets hit in the face. Well, at this point, several dozen times, but you get my point.
Oh. Argos the foot. Gresham pops back up. The insecurity. German release suplex. Argos the brainstorm. Argos the brainstorm. If Argos can pin him, it's over. But Argos is completely out of it.
Gresham ran right into that. All of his momentum working against him, right into that shot to the head, face, body, all at once onto the mat.
Jayworth, can you remember a more jacked, a more energetic Super Indy Tournament than we're seeing so far here in just the first match?
I can't. Every year we put another page in the legend book with this tournament, and this year is shaping up to be no exception.
It's a wash as far as who's to their feet first. Gresham the foot up a second time. Argos down.
2 boots to the face. And you can tell his breathing. Yeah, it looks like he's finally a little winded.
It was labored for Gresham to get to the top, but notice Gresham falls right in the wreckage of that table.
Fell to the apron and then from the apron into the table.
And Gresham may be hurt. And it's bad news regardless, as Gresham's favoring his right hip.
Yeah, it looks like it was his right hip that landed right at the edge of that table. There's it's not a lot of difference between the floor and that table, but just that little lift, that's all it takes to dislocate or rip a tendon.
Oh, with a jagged edge to dig into it.
Yeah.
Argos may get his count out. We're at 7, 3 seconds away. Argos is going to beat Gresham again. 9, here we go, crunch time. Gresham's in. And Argos is indignant, incredulous.
He would have loved to have taken a count out there and not had to do anything else. Unfortunately, that's not how this round's playing out.
This is the fight of Argos' life. Second brainstorm coming, and Argos is ready to capitalize this time.
Here he goes.
Oh, he spiked him! Gresham is done! Argos has done the unthinkable! No! And Argos is in shock!
Yeah, instead of that full frontal hit like it normally is, he came down straight on his head.
And Gresham, struggling, shaking, trying to get to his feet as Argos looking on in shock that Gresham will just not die.
I mean, I get that he's confused and he thought that should end it, but don't stand there and contemplate it.
I don't think
Put up the fists and start tossing, kid.
Jamer, that was Argos' best move, and it wasn't enough.
Well, 2 weren't enough. Try 3, try 5. You have him down and slow. Don't give him time to recover.
Gresham, that low center of gravity, elevates Argos. The high angle back suplex.
Have to be careful with someone like Gresham getting up and under you. He can pop those hips and hit a suplex like it's a reflex.
Gresham's created distance and given himself an opening. Argos looking to fire back. Backside drives with the legs. No. Oh, and Gresham to the arm. And this is where Gresham is meticulous. There's the octopus. Gresham's namesake. Dead center of the ring.
Dead center of the ring. Argos can barely keep himself standing.
If Argos loses his footing, he taps.
Over.
Gresham reached in. It was over from there. Vindicated after 10 months of psychological torment.
Yeah, Argos lit a fire 10 months ago, and all the pressure and heat and energy from it finally came blasting out of Gresham back at him.
And now, we go on the journey again with the octopus. Back to back, runner-up, back-to-back finalist. It is tonight, Jonathan Gresham's night.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is set for one fall and is a quarterfinal match in the Super Indy Tournament.
Couple of lightning rods of controversy set for our next opening round matchup. All ego Ethan Page was very outspoken.
Cut the music! You midget ass Bruce Buffer, go stand in the corner and let me talk to these people.
Surely you see my point.
I don't know what you mean.
I'll elaborate more in a moment. That's Ethan Page, if you couldn't guess.
Perfect. You're lucky I'm not making you sit like a dog. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to repeat this man's poor job and do it the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is All Ego Ethan Page! And not only tonight is it a big night because it's the Super Indy. Ethan Page makes his return to IWC, baby! Now, the reason I bring up the Super Indy in my return is the fact that do not
make me address the virgin in the audience tonight. I'm going to continue speaking, so if you could shut your mouth, please. The reason that I brought up the Super Indy and Ethan Page returning tonight is because I had no idea that my agent thought so little of me to take this freaking tournament. I don't think you guys understand. Look at me. Do I look like Indy to you? Do I look Indy to you? No, I'm not. I'm 6'2", gorgeous. I played a lawyer on a hit TV show, for Christ's sake. So, I'm going to save everybody some time. And I'm going to give you all my victory speech right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody here tonight.
Ethan Page has been interrupted. Joey Janela is a bad, bad boy. These are two men that are very polarizing. They have a lot of enemies, but a lot of very loyal, ardent supporters.
All ego. That's a lot better than the name they gave you when you were growing up. No penis, Ethan Page. This is my second time at IWC at the Super Indy, and this time I'm winning the trophy, baby.
Well, Ethan Page from behind, attacking Joey Janela. This will be no spring break for Joey Janela this evening.
Joey Janela's not even out of his ring jacket. He's sort of handcuffed at the moment.
Janela is a bad, bad boy, but Page's all-ego mentality, he certainly lives up to. Page was in IWC a number of years ago, ruffled a lot of feathers on and off camera, and was summarily dismissed. But he has appeared in Super Indy before. As Page able to reverse on Janela. Both athletes are looking for momentum here.
I was going to say, that's the 6th or 7th lariat he attempted, and no effect on the 6'2", barrel-chested Page.
Thank you for not calling him gorgeous. But Page is about 20 or 30 pounds on Janela, wouldn't you say? And Janela gets the takedown that time.
I'd say 30 pounds and 3 inches.
And Page needs to regroup. But bad boy gonna fly. Janela has tournament momentum. He won the JT Lightning Tournament in Cleveland, Ohio, just about 2 weeks ago, Jay Worth. That was a 2-day tournament with twice as many competitors. Janela survived that field, but can he survive Super Indy?
Well, that's what we're here to find out, isn't it, Joe?
Absolutely is. Janela was here last year for Super Indy 16, made it to the semifinals before he ran into a guy named Adam Cole.
Baby.
The eventual winner. And Janela now runs into the steel. And Page kicks Janela to the front row.
Ran into the steel and then ran through the steel, Joe.
And Janela still trying to get his wits about him. I'll check this out. Janela dropped on the hardest part of the wrestling ring. Metal meets wood. Talking about the JT Lightning Tournament, Ethan Page the cover. It's Ethan Page who won that particular tournament in 2013. Page was involved in Super Indy 13. defeated Louis Linden before being defeated eventually by a man named Sammy Guevara.
And a good straight right to the kisser.
So both these men have past history. Janela was scheduled to be at Super Indy 15, but had to back out due to injury when he got thrown off the roof of a building.
Which will tend to slow you down.
You think? The normal announcer handbook of hyperbole is not needed for Janela's life story.
Not at all. All you really need is to see a couple video clips. You can mute it. You'll get the same idea.
Some people love these two athletes. Some people despise them. They are against the grain. They go to the beat of their own drum. They're both very full of themselves. But you cannot deny what they bring to the table bell to bell.
They both have good reason to be full of themselves.
You can only. Ethan Page is a former tag team champion in Evolve Wrestling. And also, you talk about the tournament experience. 2013, Ethan Page was crowned King of Toronto in the Union. Anthony Kingdom James shout out on Super Indy 17.
What up, Kingdom?
Janella the jawbreaker to counter Page's chin lock.
I feel that I should point out that Canada isn't actually a monarchy. So, being declared king of Canada is...
No. But they may have been involved in the War of 1812.
Well, true. I'm sure if Kingdom was there was an War of 1812 or two.
Did he do that 1812 leg drop? Well, be that as it may. Ethan Page now focusing on Janella. Slingshots him into the backbreaker. Could be all. Two count only. Page a slight experience advantage, 12 years to 10.
Also has size.
As has been documented.
Probably has strength. Surprisingly quick for a man of his size, but I got to give the speed to Janela.
All kinds of impact there. Janela sidesteps. Ethan gets the elbow. I know, Janela sends Ethan Page back with the head first into the turnbuckle. Whiplash-like effect.
It looked like he wanted to go for a German, but he just didn't catch all of it and just ended up throwing him backward.
Oh. Pump kick nicely done. Janela has been in this business since a young teenager. He knows nothing else. He lives and breathes this. And now taking a chance. Janela also a former Jersey J Cup champion. Many of these athletes are highly decorated in tournaments past. Got in, no. And that's the thing, Jay, where this field is so deep. You look at anybody's resume, anybody's history, you can't count anybody out because everybody's got that one thing. Major tournament victory, major championship, or past accomplishment here in IWC itself that just lends itself to making these men an odds-on favorite.
I mean, you look at the bracket. At no point do you say, "Well, there's the clear-cut winner." I mean, Jaxon Argos, two-time Rookie of the Year, and he's out. That tells you the level of competition we're dealing with here. Oh,
and look out! What the hell is this? Go! Janella! The edge of the ring frame, his back must be torn apart. And Page springs in with a cutter. Got him, no!
Boy, how tough is Joey Janella?
Janella's got more guts than brains. He will battle through anything. Last ride by Ethan Page. Could this be all? No! Page, a 4-year absence from IWC. Clearly, by the sounds of things, he didn't miss us. But he feels that, again, it's a foregone conclusion, and Page can just walk through the field. He's finding, I think, now, anything but.
Well, it was a bit of a lackadaisical cover off of that. I think had he been a bit more snug with that, he may have won it right there.
Well, it's not snug. It's one letter off. It's smug. That's the reason Ethan Page may not be ahead here. Page truly believes he's better than everybody else in this building. Oh. Uranagi countered. Oh. Hard strike to the temple. Super kick. Janella the first kick. Could he have it here? Janella beats him. Janella the victory. He moves on to face Jonathan Gresham. J-Work, are you surprised by this result?
Yeah. I mean, that was a square thrust kick right to the head. He caught it just perfect, and that's all it takes. So as good as you want to be, sometimes you get lucky. Page is still down.
Sometimes all you need is that one move. Pinpoint precision, catching him flush. And that's what Janela did.
And it saves him some stamina. I don't know about the wear and tear, because he did just take a slam to the apron and a lot of damage.
Right.
From all he got. Yeah. But at least he gets to keep his win.
All ego, a slice of humble pie. Janella Gresham semifinals awaits.
This next contest is another opening round matchup in the Super Indy Tournament. Bringing his way to the ring, LeRusso, weighing in at 185 pounds,
Anthony Henry was actually in the matchup that Gory won the Super Indy Championship at 10 months ago. It was Janella, Should D, Henry, and Gory in a four-way matchup. Henry comes back almost a year later, looking to redeem that loss. Henry is a proficient wrestler and mixed martial artist.
I was gonna say, looks to be in great shape.
A young veteran of about 15 years. It's taken him over a decade to become an overnight success, but he's getting the buzz and attention he deserves.
Weighing in at 178 pounds, he is the current IWC Super Indy Champion for New-Age Plague,
And so all Henry has to do to move on is beat the man who puts action behind evil intention. A man with a fire in his stomach. A man who has the belt and is damn sure intent on keeping it.
And the man that has been in Super Indy tournaments more times than anyone else in history, tonight is Gory's 8th. Wow. Gory's very first tournament, he was 18.
He was the new face back then.
When Super Indy was formed, he was 15. His entire life, this has been a goal. And only one man in history has gone coast to coast, come into Super Indy as defending champion, and come out still reigning champion. That man is RJ City. Gory could make history.
Another shout out to our brothers up in Canada. Whatever that's about.
It's not gone well for the Canadians thus far between Argos and Ethan.
No, not yet.
Not yet. We're out of Canadians. What are you talking about? Unless you want to count Pollock, and he's got a long road to climb later.
Well, who knows? Maybe he'll be successful.
Great exchange center ring. Henry, a former Evolve Tag Team champion. If Henry has tournament experience in his own right. He won the X16 tournament for PWX in North Carolina. Side headlock by Henry. You know you can't match Gory for quickness. You know you can't match him psychologically. Gory takes away so many potential options.
You might be able to outpower him, but he's also one of the toughest men I've ever met in my entire life.
Nice satellite head scissors and a drop kick as well. Henry needs a breather. Jayworth, do you feel the pressure of being the defending champion will help or hurt the New Age play?
I think it's going to help. I mean, we're talking about a man who's angry about the fact that he had to hand it over at the start of the tournament. And he, as he said, he does not intend to leave without it. I think that this is going to push him toward keeping his title.
Now, keep in mind, if Gory is successful, his title reign will be uninterrupted in the lineage and the history. His reign will move on at 10 months and counting. If he's defeated, the title is officially vacated, and it goes to the winner of the overall tournament.
Yeah, he is still the Super Indy champion, despite not coming to the ring with the belt.
And if Henry, Gory a little hungry, that carnivorous nature of the New Age plague, and now into the satellite head scissors. Now keep in mind, if Henry beats Gory, Henry is not Super Indy champion. He has to go through the whole field.
Yeah, it's the winner of the tournament.
As Gory sends Henry to the outside unceremoniously this time. Gory has been much more poised and methodical than anyone else we've seen thus far tonight.
I'd go with focused as well.
And you can tell it's running space in the head of Anthony Henry.
Which, let's be honest, Gory takes up a little space in the head of anyone who he's in the ring with. You don't stare at someone like Gory and think, well, this will be your standard catch-as-catch can.
Gory's had a banner year as Henry with the physicality. Gory has overcome the likes of Facade, Ophidian, DJZ, and Chris LeRusso as Gory drives the legs for two. Slips underneath now for two. I would wager to think as Gory going high risk. Signal for the QAS but got caught in a flapjack. Jayworth Henry is not the same athlete as anybody I just named.
True, very true.
There are stark differences stylistically and mentality-wise. As Henry skins the cat and sends Gory to the floor, eye for an eye, for what Gory did earlier.
And now it looks like Henry's looking to dive.
Henry takes a chance. And snap power slam. Great midstream adjustment by Henry to land on his feet, move back in, and snap off the power slam in one swift motion.
Yeah, it was fluid. That was beautiful.
Only got two that time, though.
Oh, I felt that.
That echoed through the body of Gory. God.
It's like he knocked us.
There's that two count with that striking game, that mixed martial arts background.
He knocked the vertebrae sideways with the first kick, then straightened it back out with the second.
I think Henry is still having flashbacks of that Super Indy four-way matchup 10 months ago. Keep in mind that filled a vacancy because the Super Indy 16 winner, look out, Henry charges in, and now head and arm suplex to count only. The Super Indy 16 winner, Adam Cole, wound up being defeated by John McChesney, who got injured mid-match. John McChesney's still on the mend. We wish him well.
Yes.
Saw him up in Meadville as our guest host.
Heal quickly. Another fine Canadian brother.
What? Your GPS is a little off, pal. It's Henry.
Meadville's pretty close to Canada. I'm just saying.
You refuse to go. How would you know? Gory the elbows.
I would be happy to go if they would agree to my trans.
Yeah, but you demand a Learjet, so that's a little different. Argos!
Good Lord. I'm willing to compromise and take a helicopter.
You think Henry's going to compromise in this matchup?
Not at all.
Henry will go through Gory if he has to.
Yeah, Henry's counteroffer seems to be a swift kick to the body part that he can reach.
But we know Gory's pain threshold. We know he can withstand a lot. We've seen it since day one.
Sure, absolutely.
Super Indy 4, Gory got the absolute crap kicked out of him by Low Key. No other way to put it. We're having some flashbacks to that matchup here tonight.
I watched him take a stun gun from the Gambinos. Not the move, the stun gun, a literal stun gun.
Kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it, as what Gory can withstand. That was before the transformation, as Gory tries to fight out of Henry's grasp, and they almost both tumble. Oh! Gory got caught. That apron has been a sweet spot offensively, but it's hurt a lot of people so far. Henry wants a count out. Henry is intimidated, I think. Henry may not know how to beat Gory.
Well, Henry may also know that this is a long tournament, and if he can sit there and breathe for a little bit and not have to do any more fighting, then that's an easy way in.
Winner of this match will face the winner of Jeff Cobb and David Starr. One match already set, that's Gresham Janella. It'll be one-on-one in the finals, as we are at 7. Gory has to struggle back to the ring. And we are at crunch time, much like with Gresham. Gory gets in the nick of time. But obviously, labored movements is Gory is sitting duck at this point.
No, I mean, let's be honest. You know you have a 10 count. You're not going to push to try and get back into that ring at 6 if you can give yourself a little more time and a little more air. Oh. Good Lord. That may have cracked a nipple.
And I can't remember the last time I've seen Gory in this much visible pain.
I mean, he can shake it off, he can ignore it, but at the same time, he knows it's there.
Other than hatred and anger, Gory doesn't show emotions. And we're seeing some of that anger now. Gory doing his best to fire back.
Some elbows to the jaw.
Yeah, whatever he can get at this point. Oh, man, is Henry intense. And Gory, I went to take a bite, but Henry pushed away. And now, to the very top, seamlessly. No. Gory slips free. Leg chop DDT.
And credit to Gory for seeing what was coming and dodging all of it and coming up with a counter. They were like in the middle of a hurricane.
Well, unlike a hurricane, there is no calm in the eye of Gory at this point. It is intensity, it is focus, it is determination. Same to be said about Anthony Henry, as both men are digging down deep.
Oh, there we go.
Gory's chest has turned colors. Henry's, you gotta believe, is on its way. Oh.
Now just tagging him back to the corner.
And Henry's trying to step back away from some of those shots, but Gory's still connecting with some. The knees follow through. And the clothesline connects. Scary kick back of the head.
And Gory staying vigilant, making sure he knows exactly where Henry's at.
Oh! Springboard drop kick, nicely done. 2-0. Half second away. And again, how much do you think it's on Gory's mind of him surrendering that championship at Super Indy 6, that pressure to not be someone who surrenders that title and never sees it again?
I mean, I'm going to say it's...
Shoulders down. Henry able to adjust. Now Henry will trap the shoulders.
Nope.
And we are back and forth center ring, no full cut advantage. And again, the competitive nature of these athletes. Henry's got about 10 or 15 pounds on Gory, but Gory's bringing it. And the steam. Oh, no. Henry rolls through the momentum. Pull the tights. Come on, Raph. And Jalen, I want to get back to that question, but these guys aren't giving us a chance to breathe.
Not machine gun offense here. I would say it's not in the back of his mind. It's right at the front.
Oh! Long blower connects. Can Gory beat him? Got him. No.
Didn't get the weight up over the shoulders. Just got the legs up. And Henry was able to shift himself before the weight got over his legs. Or his legs got over his shoulders, I should say.
So much pressure both these men are putting on themselves. Henry is capable of stepping up and making you take, no, wait a second. Gory the soul eater. Henry rolls through. Gory had chopped the legs. That'd have been all. Roll up here. Slipped in the back door. Henry escapes.
Back and through. No!
Use Gory's momentum to snap off the German. Kick to the back of the head.
That caught him right in the back of the ear.
Henry on top. No.
That's a good way to scramble the old radio signals.
Psychologically, do you give an advantage to anybody, Jay Worth?
Gory. I mean, he has the motivation to want to keep the title. Plus, he knows how to get in people's heads.
That's true, but Henry has connected with a higher percentage on his strikes.
Sure, but that's not that doesn't affect his psychology.
If it's a striking man's game, it could cause Gory to doubt himself. We'll see. Gory's got to adjust. Right now, Gory's in a bad way. Henry is feeling confident. We'll see if it translates.
Well, Gory has hold of the rope. Now throwing punches into those exposed ribs. There we go.
That is trademark Gory. Henry takes a very hard tumble. Henry! The drop kick connects. Gory was in midair. Nowhere.
Powerbomb!
Stacks him out. No. Into an STF. That is tightly cinched in.
And again, center of the ring. Perfect placement. And Gory just squirming to the ropes. And now switching to a Rings of Saturn almost.
And Gory, he's close. Gory used a rope break with his face?
I think he bit the bottom rope.
Well, Gory had no arms left over. It was all he had left. Is Henry questioning himself? Is Henry having doubts? Is Henry questioning, how do you stop Gory?
Well, let's be honest. He's hit him with some pretty heavy offense. And Gory still keeps figuring a way out. Yeah, he's frustrated. He's looking at a guy that's shorter than him, weighs less than him, not quite in as good shape. Well, same shape, but doesn't have the size, the mass. He figured he should be able to put him away by now.
Henry is almost mocking Gory, toying with him. And you can see the eyes from here. The new age plague has been awoken.
Psychological games are not the games you want to play with Gory. Just a flurry of kicks there.
A hard series of shots. And Henry the clothesline. Well, Powerbomb worked earlier. Didn't work this time. Gory followed up for QAS! QAS! Gory made him! Henry went to the power game once too often. Gory slipped in that back door. Snapped that QAS off out of nowhere. And the man who's been watching Super Indy since age 15 potentially could finally go the distance.
That's step one. And Gory first to his feet.
Respect from Anthony Henry. He knows he was bested by the better man tonight.
It sucks to admit it, but it's the classy thing to do. Credit to Henry and credit to Gory for going through an opponent with the skills that Henry has.
And the infection spreads to the second round of Super Indy 17.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest set for one fall is a quarterfinal round match in the Super Indy 17 Tournament.
Long-awaited, long overdue IWC debuts.
Introducing first from Gresham, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he weighs 193 pounds, Starr,
David Starr usually has a much longer ring introduction. The cream in your coffee, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, etc., etc. Starr's been all over the world. When we say all over the world, we don't mean the normal stops, like just Japan or the UK. We're talking Israel, Hungary. This man has wrestled in countries you didn't know there was wrestling in. And he's also this year's CZW Best of the Best tournament winner.
That's all well and good, but I once got thrown out of a Benihana for putting a guy in a headlock, so we're both kind of on the same page.
No. You don't play music until I tell you to play music. Wait, on a real serious note, it's been 3 years since IWC has been trying to book me for the Super Indy Tournament, because every year it didn't seem to work out. And finally this year it has. And at this point, in those 3 years, I've traveled all over the world. I've wrestled in Hungary, I've wrestled in Israel, I've wrestled pretty much anywhere you name it. I've wrestled in some of the biggest sports venues, some of the most famous sports halls across the planet. And then, so when I come here, this atmosphere, it's just extremely beneath me. And I can't tell you how disappointing it is that when I walked into this ring, that each and every one of you are here because you're all dirty, disgusting hicks. And I can't wait to win this tournament and go back to a real city like Philadelphia. Maybe it'll swing by another true champion's place ovation, and we can take all a selfie with our trophies. Wouldn't that be super sick? I think so.
You celebrate a win in Philadelphia by eating horse poop. Everything he says is muted by that point.
It's a lot of questions, but I'll save them for later. Jeff Cobb halts Dave Kitch in his tracks. A lot to talk about with Jeff Cobb, but Cobb is making some notes of his own.
Or at least amending some notes.
Introducing the Olympic wrestler who would like to apologize for a slight wardrobe malfunction thanks to a certain airline losing his luggage. Nonetheless, he is still prepared to suplex his way to the Super Indy title.
David Starr, none too happy with Jeff Cobb making the most of a bad situation. And Jeff Cobb has been called by many as the king of the suplex. And you can see he's got that body type, he's got that stance where you can tell he can throw you around, he can do some serious damage out there. Jeff Cobb may be one of the most buzzworthy athletes in the entire world today. Not just a success in the United States, but certainly over in New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. Very notable.
Yeah, very true. Also, good friends with another known suplex machine from IWC, Ray Rowe.
There you go. Ray, a former Super Indy finalist in his own right. Winner of this matchup, Jay Worth, meets Gory in the semifinals. Do you have a preference on who you'd rather see the New Age Plague battle?
I'll be honest, I'm not well versed on either of these gentlemen. I've heard both names. I've seen clips. I haven't really gotten to get into their entire catalog. Just looking, I would say Starr would probably be the better matchup. But I can't say I think he's going to be the one who wins it.
Well, I'm looking forward to see who gets there, because both these men have very, very rich amateur credentials. David Starr was amateur wrestling since age 7. He was third all-time in wins in his high school, top 16 in his weight class at nationals.
And Cobb just did a leg takedown and then a twist into a pin, and he actually over-rotated and pulled Starr off his own shoulders.
And let's keep in mind, Jay Worth, something that the amateurs have that we don't here. Weight classes.
Yeah, very good point.
Starr, a low stance. Starr was a National Collegiate Wrestling Association qualifier back in his amateur days. Cobb a takedown. Cobb, meanwhile, was a flag bearer and representative of Guam in the 2004 Summer Olympics. He competed in men's light heavyweight freestyle wrestling. Obviously not a light heavyweight anymore. He has bulked up for the pro ranks, which is where he's been the past 9 years.
I was going to say, if that's a light heavyweight.
Cobb first got his break in wrestling, competing in Hawaii. Eventually branched off into the mainland. He was a finalist, was Cobb, in this year's Battle of Los Angeles, or the most recent Battle of Los Angeles, I should say. It was eventually won by Ricochet. So you don't expect a guy, perhaps with that much mass on him, to have the same endurance as maybe a Gory or a Gresham. But he's proven that wrong already in his travels.
Yeah, I mean,
Starr went for a Fez press or a monkey flip, couldn't budge the big man. Chops the shoulders for 2, though.
Cobb treated that like he was lifting baby. That's a Dirty Dancing reference, Joe.
Jay Worth, Cobb's not in his comfort zone. Starr was almost speaking condescending to Cobb. Yeah, I'd run too, pal. Gut wrench. Just playing with him. Just playing with him. It's like throwing a ball in the air. Overhead suplex.
The difference being if you keep doing that to a ball, it doesn't throw up.
Insane strength and body control by Jeff Cobb. My God. Knife edge chop. And he's following through with a clothesline as well. It's a 1-2 strike.
Keeping the momentum going.
Starr better hope he's got a thick coat of chest hair to protect him. Pump handle, and Starr fighting for his life to break the grip from Cobb. Release suplex, and that is picture perfect.
Just tossed him like, I'd say like a sack of potatoes, but to be honest, you don't really throw a sack of potatoes. I mean,
Cobb can if he wants.
I mean, you can, but then you're just breaking all your potatoes.
There's a quote someone will tweet out we didn't expect to hear.
Oh, clever.
Oh.
He snapped the rope into Jeff Cobb's face.
Starr is not above a shortcut. He's not above using his surroundings to his advantage.
Well, to be fair, he was in the ropes. He's supposed to be given the room to get back in. Cobb went after him and took a rope to the kisser.
Jayworth, who's your favorite wrestler?
Of all time?
Yes.
I would probably say the Great Muta.
Is the Great Muta's favorite wrestler David Starr?
I would have to check with David Starr, but sources point to yes.
Okay. Just making sure it checks out.
Yes.
But check out the physicality there. And you think it's running space in the head of Cobb, but he doesn't have boots, he doesn't have knee pads, he doesn't have his normal gear.
Oh, it absolutely has to. It throws you off your game.
But cover here, reaching cover, and Cobb hasn't lost a second or an ounce of that power, though.
No, that made it through with that airline. Who's your favorite wrestler, Joe?
There's a cover, all time.
All time.
It'd be Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Yes.
Who's Ric Flair's favorite wrestler?
According to rumor and innuendo, that would be David Starr.
Wow. That's impressive.
Wow to this. Look at David Starr belittling Jeff Cobb.
Especially when he knows what Jeff Cobb is capable of.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to Jeff Cobb from 3 states over, let alone...
I wouldn't kick him with your foot, Joe.
There you go. And no one is going to have a chance to kick Jeff Cobb with anybody's foot. Scooped him up! T-bone style! Cobb is so explosive. We weren't doing Beals like that in the Olympics. And if you're Gory, watching both these men, what's going through your mind?
Don't let that happen to me. I hate the world.
A scary amount of strength. Jeff Cobb.
Oh, he has him by the chest hair.
And notice, I think some of that hair came off and it's on Cobb's hands.
And then wiping it off onto referee CJ Sensation.
Super Indy competitor in his own right years gone by.
True. Who we recently saw at
God. There's a cover. I don't know how much David Starr weighs offhand. Wait a minute. Oh! Andy Russo! It's insane! Let's say Starr's around 200 pounds. I mean, Jeff Cobb maneuvering his own body weight like that, let alone a whole other human being. Both of which just completely confounding. Wait, Starr chopped him! Starr chopped him! Oh! Cobb might have been going for that tour of the island's power slam. Like, oh! What do you call that? Almost a reverse side slam.
Yeah, like a... Just brought him the whole way over.
And notice Cobb switching directions midstream, shifting that momentum. Cobb can make you his plaything whenever he wants to.
It's sort of like physics just took this match off.
Really? I don't think Physics is following Jeff Cobb very closely in his travels. Physics may have been lost by that airline too.
Yeah, that's probably in his bag with his boots.
Look out, caught him. Manipulates him. A corner power slam. Steps it off. Cobb moving on. No.
And credit to Starr for having the gumption to kick out.
At this point, I think it would be an upset for either of these men to be knocked out in the first round. Tore the arm, attempt 2. Starr countered, spiked him. But then when Starr did not have both shoulders trapped, Cobb had an escape.
It was a good idea for a counter. He just didn't quite execute quite the way he wanted to, which, to be fair, it's kind of tough to do when a giant man is throwing you around in the air like you don't have weight.
Without question. And now Starr going to take a chance. The suicide dive, but he knows one won't be enough. Cobb is still on his feet. Oh my God, he got caught. And again, the look in the eyes of Starr telling the story.
And then just tossed back into the ring by Starr. But he could tell with that first impact, it just backed him up a little. He knew that wasn't what he wanted.
What do you do to stop Jeff Cobb?
If it's me, I purchase a handgun.
Wait a minute. Cobb gonna fly? Oh, Starr put the brakes on him, spikes him. Cobb hits skull first on the apron. And now this could be the product placement. Oh my God, he got it over. Product placement, he beat him with it. David Starr couldn't outpower Jeff Cobb. David Starr outsmarted Jeff Cobb, almost like Starr baited Cobb into that apron to spike him head first, and that was all straight power to leverage over Cobb. That product placement German suplex trapped the arms. Cobb was stacked up over top of his own body weight, couldn't get out in time.
Tied him up, held him there. That was all it took. Congratulations to David Starr advancing against Jeff Cobb in this tournament.
But my condolences to David Starr, because Gory's next.
First off, don't thank me. Thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. Now imagine what I could have accomplished or done if I had my gear. All my shoes, all my knee pads, all my socks, or all excuses aside. And on that note, IWC, I'll be back.
This next contest is a semi-final round matchup in the Super Indy Tournament.
And Jonathan Gresham in round 2 of the Super Indy 17 tournament, having earned his way here with a hard-fought battle against Jaxon Argos. And you can tell, walking a little tender, feeling it from that last match a little bit, but not going to let that slow him down.
You can sense in the body language of Gresham, he is far from 100%. Gresham is in the corner in prayer. Is it ceremonial? Is it desperation? Janella comes out with similar back issues, but not showing it. Not letting anyone know that he's less than 100%. Is that more guts than brains? Is it confidence? Is it strategy? Is it all of the above?
You have to believe it's part of a plan. You don't want to let anyone know where to target you. Any of the other people in this match are probably too busy to pay attention to your match, and thus aren't paying attention to see, oh, well, this guy hurt his arm, this guy hurt his back. They're not going to know where the target is until you point it out to them.
Again, a split crowd. We didn't have much chance to talk about Gresham's tournament history because of the bad blood with him and Argos we had to cover. But Gresham, in addition to being a former CZW champion, has competed in tournaments all over the world. He was the first ever foreigner to win 0-1's version of a junior heavyweight tournament in Japan. And as I mentioned, a two-time finalist. If you add Gresham's total ring time of Super Indy 15 and 16, it lasts longer than any Super Indy competitor in any two Super Indy tournaments they've been in combined in history.
How do you have such statistics?
We saw Gresham and Alexander go the better part of a half an hour at least. We saw Gresham and Cole take one another to the limit over 20 minutes. Resiliency and stamina has been Gresham's key, but he's always been just a quarter of a step short each year. Will this year be different? Janella, keep in mind, was a semifinalist last year. He's looking for redemption. Oh, he's looking for redemption as well.
And an innovative cartwheel to get out of a headlock.
Here's another thing that I know from social media, Jay, where Gresham recently switched up his diet. He has dropped 17 pounds over the past couple of months. Could that be the missing piece of the puzzle that he's been looking for?
Well, he's always had the speed. I would think he would want to try and add a little to the frame, put a little more bulk behind it. But if that's working for him, then go with what works.
Time will tell. Janella is about 200 to 205. Gresham, I believe, is about in the 170s. He's trimmed down. He's leaned up. And the thing with Gresham is he's never been a power guy. He's never tried to, never pretended to be. As long as he can trap you and contort and manipulate your joints and tendons, he's still in his wheelhouse.
He has that full body core strength. It's like you're not looking at him thinking, oh, he's incredibly strong, but he gets a round on you. He catches you. He can toss you however he wants to.
Well, he literally got a round on Jaxon Argos earlier on, who cried his way to the locker room. I don't think he's ever going to be the same. And check out this back and forth. Waist lock, standing side switches, and Gresham almost fed Janella the leg there. So Gresham could counter and send Janella to the floor. This is Gresham playing that human game of chess. He's going to allow Janella to make a move, but Gresham already has the counter in mind, maybe 3 moves ahead.
Well, I mean, part of Joey Janella's whole offense is the attitude and the persona that goes around him.
It's an unpredictability, really.
Yeah, and Gresham has decided he's going to work with that as opposed to against it. He's going to play some games with him and see where that takes him.
Gresham maybe giving Janella a bit of props. Again, we talked about Janella winning the JT Lightning Invitational. Nice takedown by Gresham.
Rolling up and over the body to get to that headlock.
You know who Janella beat in the first round of the JT Lightning Invitational this year?
It wasn't me.
Marty Jannetty.
Wow.
It's a matchup you never thought you'd see.
He avoided the rocker dropper, did he?
I would assume so. Standing side switches again. And this goes to show you how evenly matched these athletes are. They're jogging for position. And now Janella trying to bait Gresham in, as Gresham had done to Janella. Okay, I'll bite. Push free, puts the brakes on. And you cannot beat Gresham at a Gresham game.
And you can see the frustration building.
And Gresham, a sly smirk on his face. That ring is his house. He is in complete control. When it gets into close proximity of physical contact, body on body, pound for pound, there may be nobody better in this business now than Jonathan Gresham. And as he mentioned, Janella does not thrive in this environment. Janella loves unorthodox behavior. He loves mind games. He loves to step outside the box. Gresham will trap you in the box.
Very good.
He said, I don't know if you heard him. He said right now he's a very good boy.
But said by the man that's built a legacy as a bad boy.
Oh, and a switch on the handshake.
Gresham is looking for the fix. Time and a place for respect and honor in Super Indy, and a time to every purpose under heaven, but this was not the time to demonstrate that Janella caught Gresham maybe feeling a little bit too polite.
It was a clean break. He didn't sucker him in. Shook his hand, let it go, then immediately punched it.
But did you see the velocity Gresham hit sternum first into that corner with? Maybe head first.
Come on, Gresham, where are you at?
And that's a damn good question. Where are you at?
Well, you can tell Janella feels embarrassed and a little bit slighted that he let himself get roped into a Gresham game. But I look for Janella to open this matchup up. More physicality, more no-frills offense. Seen Janella take some insane risks. No rules, death matches.
Yes, I mean, you don't have a career that includes the phrase, I was thrown off a building, unless you're willing to take a couple risks.
Janella and Leo Rush, a famous/infamous matchup from New Jersey last year, CZW. They about killed each other to end a 2-year rivalry that night. Gresham battling up from underneath. Oh! And Janella wrenches the arm down Gresham. It looks like he hit face first on the canvas.
Brought him right down.
And smart by Janella here to focus on the arm of Gresham. Because Janella, look at this arm breaker attempt. Gresham's got the hands clasped as attempting a textbook counter. Now shifts the weight. Janella trapped, had to let go or he'd have pinned himself. Oh. I was going to say, normally a smart strategy to focus on that hand because of Gresham's grip and that strength he has to trap you in submissions. But with a knee in the back already damaged, is Janella not doing his homework, or does he have a new plan in mind?
Well, like I said, he may not have had the chance to do the homework, being that he was involved in matches while some of that injury occurred. I mean, the knee is a known problem, but the back, a relatively newer incident having happened this evening, I don't know that he would have been aware.
And have you seen any signs of Janella's back problems dating back to his falls on the apron in the opening round?
Not yet. I haven't noticed it yet. Having said that, Janella stuck to a more brawling style, a lot of strikes, not a lot of catch as catch can, Lancashire.
Well, we're having flashbacks to round one now because Gresham did this to Argos quite effectively. Gresham ready to produce the sequel. Oh! Janella did have it scouted, dropped toe to the chair, and Gresham now favoring his arm.
And Janella broke the count, but is right back out to be on top of Gresham.
May have broken more than that on Gresham. Oh, God. You can see the midsection draped across that girdle. You can feel the air rush out of Gresham. As now the third time in the night, someone attempts to take a counter.
Why wouldn't you, though? Especially in a tournament, it's a sound strategy if you can get the win in a tournament. It essentially gives you not quite a bye, but a better reserve going into the next round if you don't have to waste the energy to try and beat a guy.
But Jayworth, do you think Gresham's going to stay down as the referee hits 7? Gresham over the guardrail. And back in now at 8.5. And here's the counterpoint to that, Jayworth. How much of a breather did that inadvertently give Gresham?
Well, I mean, it's definitely...
Cover here. Near fall. Notice Gresham didn't kick out because of the damage to the arm and shoulder. He bridged up on that.
Well, he may also have... Janella had that horizontal press sunk in pretty tight. He may not have been able to kick out there.
Gresham is being systematically dissected here. I'm running out of thinking of body parts on Gresham that have not been compromised in this matchup. So you see the back again. Gresham gets the good foot up.
Which is a little different from getting up on the good foot and doing the bad thing.
Moving on. Springboard. Look out! Came ball nicely done. But again, the damage to the midsection on the guardrail. Gresham feels it when he makes contact.
I was going to say, he was clutching his ribs in his midsection when he came out. And I didn't even think about that, the guardrail.
And you got to believe the damage to the back Gresham's had. The suplex on the floor earlier may have had some effect to the ribs or the internal organs. As Gresham fires up, and Janella, the bad boy, thought he was ahead. But his showboating cost him hesitation drop kick. Shades of one-time partner and Super Indy 3 winner, Chris Sabin. Gresham can switch directions, he can switch tempos, pacing. Is there anything Gresham can't do mechanically? On to get that low center of gravity.
Trying to get up and under Janella.
And it's so hard for Janella to get under Gresham because of his body positioning and his stature. And Gresham got it. Man, make the most of your movements. Cover? No. Man, when Gresham decides he wants a suplex, there is no way to talk him out of it, is there?
And to be fair, I've yet to see anyone with a convincing argument. No, don't do that to me. No, I'm going to do that to you. No, come on, don't do... No, I'm doing that to you.
You see the wear and tear on Janella's body now and his body language. Gresham hurts just to get to his feet.
I was going to say, you can see it on Gresham as well.
Janella looking for an illegal advantage here on the ropes. Gresham trying... Referee's discretion. Gresham broke Janella's contact, and now Gresham with contact on top turnbuckle. Running. Could have broken the jaw of Gresham that time. That one strike, that momentum, you can see the effect it had on Gresham. He can't support his own weight right now.
He's not up 100%. Oh, got a foot up.
Oh, hard open hand strike. And Gresham now compromised. Superplex! Beautifully done! Janella took the wind out of himself. Gresham is quivering in pain. Janella to the finals. No!
And that back injury, Gresham has to be acutely aware of how bad that hurts right around now.
Without a doubt. Is Janella having the same questions so many have over 16 years? What's next? What's left? Argos questioned the same when Gresham survived 2 brainstorms.
And you can hear Gresham just crying out every time these strikes are hitting.
Oh my gosh. And Gresham, who has now sat back for 2 years and thought about the bittersweet pain of being a Super Indy finalist, his body may give out on him before he has a chance to get redemption. And Janella will gloat all the way to the championship if he can.
Up and back down.
Even reaching up for that forearm hurt Gresham's back.
And all of these strikes, all of these slams, all aimed at the same weak point.
Oh gosh, Michinoku style driver. Snapped it off out of nowhere, 2-0. Notice Janella, the hurried nature he went into that maneuver. Almost he wanted to catch Gresham off guard and trap him before he recovered.
And to be fair, it worked.
It certainly worked to do its damage, but not what Janella wanted, which was that elusive 3. Boston Crab. Quick countered by Gresham.
Here he goes.
But only temporary. And again, depending on your positioning, this puts pressure on not just the knee, but the back as well.
And really, he should be trying to sit up a little more on it. He's hitting more. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Almost more of a Walls of Jericho style. That extra angle, that extra torque just bends the body that much worse. And Gresham reaches over the official to get a break. But Janella didn't break. Janella back to the center.
And he's not calling for the break.
Janella broke long enough to move him to the center. Gresham, a cradle! Oh, but he couldn't keep him down. Gresham found the arm for a moment.
Oh, there it is.
That's usually a setup to the octopus. Janella knows it. Came back with a super kick. Janella won't let Gresham get an opening. 2 count only. My God.
And Janella, taking the moment, catch his breath, figure out what the next move is. I don't know that it'd take this much time going out of the ring.
Gresham is a crumpled heap at this point. And I think frustration is setting in for the bad boy.
Well, he's bringing a broken chair into the ring.
Janella is going to his nature, his comfort zone. That's not what Super Indy's about. This is not ultra-violence. This is not spring break. This is not a lawless nature. Gresham is prone. Oh, thankfully the official steps in.
Nope.
Janella tried to adjust. Gresham chops the shoulders. Gresham's got him. Gresham's got him. No. And it took the official an extra 4 to 6 seconds that could have cost Gresham this matchup.
Oh, and look at this.
Step over toe hold. Into a bridge. Chops the shoulders. Gresham made him.
Advancing to the finals of the tournament,
Almost a contrapositive of the figure 4 bridged back into a pin.
Janella lost his temper, lost his focus, tried to rip Gresham's head off. Gresham kept his composure and did what he does best, beat his man on the mat. But Jayward, you see the physical toll. What does Gresham have left?
I don't have a good answer for that. The good news is he has a little bit of time. We have a couple of matches. He can go to the back, try and rest, try and stretch it out. Give himself a little bit of time to prepare. See what he can get back into that reserve tank.
Gresham, for the 3rd straight year, is a Super Indy finalist. Is it redemption or is it heartbreak at the end of the night?
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest set for one fall is a semi-final round match in the Super Indy 17 Tournament.
Two men who were physically manhandled, but found a way. And our final semifinal round matchup. And I'm still a little amazed that David Starr survived Jeff Cobb. All credit deserved to David Starr. But Starr, again, one of those athletes that maybe feels this audience is beneath him and wants to use the Super Indy Championship to prove a point. What do you rate his chances are now that we're down to officially, at the moment, 3 remaining?
You know, normally I would say good if he wasn't going against the New Age flag. But I don't know how you survive
And his opponent,
the bad intentions that Gory has.
The bad intentions and the animalistic thirst for human flesh and blood. And in this case as well, gold. Gory survived Anthony Henry, but his chest is now just as red as the demonic look in his eye. Who would you say physically has the advantage based on what we've seen?
I gotta go with, I hate to say it, but I gotta go with David Starr on this
Hold
one.
on, before you get all excited.
Again?
I'm sure that you were probably all wondering what's happened to my world famous introduction. And because the people at IWC clearly aren't competent enough to get this down, I'm just going to have to do it all myself. So please,
Do we have to? We're on a time limit, pal. Oh, I love it! You were is the better way to put it. Gory saw an opening, and David Starr is down. Gory the double stall. Gory's gonna beat him. Yes, though. Could you imagine what an advantage it would have given Gory into the finals had he won the fall right then and there?
Exactly.
David Starr came in too big for his britches. Paid for it for a moment at least. Uh-oh. Starr trying to adjust. Pull kick, good night. Starr out on his feet. And Gory uses the apron as an offensive weapon, the Hurricane Rana.
Rolls up the apron, catches the head scissor, and just keeps going.
Gory, look out, corkscrew to the floor.
And David Starr, despite being nonplussed at the beginning, has yet to find his footing. Oh, QAS!
That's what won in the first round. Oh, Gory couldn't get that rotation. Starr put the brakes on. Ouch.
Good hard clothesline.
And this is intriguing to me because it is an amateur background and a very aerial game one-on-one, although Starr breaking out the strikes.
And there's that tilt-a-whirl slam again.
2 count. 3, no. Well, again, both men are showing the wear and tear. Anthony Henry brought the physicality. Jeff Cobb completely manhandled Starr. And this crowd mocking Starr. just as he had mocked them earlier.
Which seemed to be almost a mocking of CJ Sensation, just turned back against him.
And Starr is unloading on Gory. Good grief. And Starr, oh, look at this. Gory up the body and plants him to DDT. Hooks the leg. 2-0. Seamlessly done! When's the last time you've seen Gory do the 450?
It has been a while since I've seen him bust that out.
Again, if we're talking early Gory, it was a staple. Lately, not so much.
Did he pull it out in his match against DJZ?
Oh wait, this could be the Soul Eater. Starr could submit, and for the second time in as many rounds, the Soul Eater's counter.
No. He couldn't get the feet into the back of the legs.
And to your point a moment ago, we've seen Gory break out some quote-unquote deep cuts lately and match with the likes of DJC, Great Mysterio, and Meadville, and a number of others. Gory knows the pressure has been on for 10 months now. Every title event, it's gotten harder and harder to maintain the hold of that Super Indy Championship. And this may be the deepest field in history. We say it every year, but every year it's true.
And it looks like Gory winning the battle of the elbows.
Gory's feeling the energy, but Starr cuts him off with a pass. God, what intensity. What resolve. Gory chops Starr up. And Gory uses that body as an offensive weapon. 170-some pounds, but he knows how to maneuver.
He just interrupted the timing, threw Starr off, kicked him in the leg.
Springboard, oh, they're caught midair. Gory loves the springboards. Starr is stepping ahead that time. Could Starr be the cream in the Super Indy coffee by the end of this matchup, let alone end of the night? Oh! Gory met Starr! QAS! It worked once! He's got him again! No!
And Gory is shocked. He thought that was it.
Gory is completely in disbelief. That's what Super Indy's been about every year. You push your body beyond its normal limits. It's very Darwinian. It's a war of attrition.
I hate to say it, but I think it's actually angered Gory that he didn't win it there.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's... I was going to say sometimes that's an advantage to Gory. But for the second time in as many rounds, Starr to the eyes, and a huge lariat. This could do it. Hook in the tights. David Starr beats the champion. Second time we're talking about this, Jay Wood, but it was the story of the semifinal round. You lose your temper, you go away from your battle plan, and the other man capitalizes. All 8 of these men have strictly prepared for this mind, body, and soul. When someone loses that focus, it's all over from there. Gresham did it with Janella, Starr did it with Gory, and the killer instinct that brought Gory to the dance originally and won him that title may have just cost him that same title.
Well, we now know it's Gresham and Starr in the finals.
Gory pleading his case, but the call has been finalized. And Gory deserves respect, not just for tonight, but for the past 10 months having Super Indy on his back.
He's been a great champion. I hope he remembers that and doesn't just concentrate on the anger that I know is manifesting itself in him over this.
But one thing with Gory, he'll be back.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Gory. 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 Thank you, Gory.
Jack, you know I didn't want this, buddy.
Come on.
No, in the ring! Jenny, look out!
That's Pollock. Jack's got Justin's wife. Pollock is desperate and way over the line.
Sign me, and this is over.
Jack's back in IWC.
I don't see anyone by your side because nobody here at IWC gives a damn about me.
They say God is silent while good men suffer. Well, on June 9th, Jack Pollock, we're gonna see if Shane Taylor can make him show up personally. I have two rules that I live by. Live for revenge and bleed for your family. When you put your hands on my friend's wife, you put your hands on my family. Jack Pollock, I've been away for a long, long time. If you thought I was bad before, just wait until you see what's coming for you now. Pray to whatever God you think is out there. Because I'm gonna set up the meeting.
This next contest is scheduled for one fall.
Argos and Dupree welcome in Jack Pollock, who did the unthinkable. He manhandled, he practically abducted Justin Plummer's wife Jenny, one of the owners of this company, and basically held her hostage on the grounds of re-signing Jack to IWC. And ever since then, it's been torture for Team Starr. That incident is the reason Argos had to deal with Gresham in round one and maybe get his shoulder popped out. It's why Pollock had to wrestle Jack Swagger in Meadville, Dennis Jackson in Clearfield. But is Jack Pollock prepared for literally and figuratively the biggest and most dangerous test yet? Team Storm was reunited, but at what cost? Could this be Team Storm's last stand?
Well, he's facing the notorious Shane Taylor. I don't know that it's not a name, it's a warning.
The most dangerous athlete in Ring of Honor. He has been a gun for hire in ROH, taking payoffs to inflict pain to support his family. He is in the best shape of his life. Oh, and by the way, he's known Justin Plummer predating their time in pro wrestling. He's got a little extra incentive to inflict some damage. First time we've seen Shane Taylor in IWC in well over a year.
And he's been in IWC for, how long has he been making appearances here?
I believe he made his first appearance around 2008 or 9.
I was going to say, he's got a good decade under his belt, I would say.
Came in a very raw prodigy under the tutelage of the likes of J-Rock and Ray Rowe. He comes back his own man, and one that is step by step taking over the industry.
IWC, damn, it feels good to be back home. But you know what? Tonight is about business. Plumber, I need you to do me a favor. I came here for a fight. I came here to whoop his ass, and I am not letting them weasel their way out of this. Because I know these Team Storm bitches are probably going to get in back anyway. Do something about it. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. That aside, do me a favor and make this match no disqualification.
Whoa! Shane Taylor can do whatever he wants.
I'll tell you what, you flew halfway across the country for me. I've known you for 12 years, give or take.
Don't do it!
What do you guys think? No disqualification?
Oh my God! If you're Jack Pollock, what goes through your mind at the sound of that news?
I'm gonna present the counter on this. What Shane Taylor has just done is allowed Team Storm to interject with impunity. These Team Storm bitches, as he called them,
excuse me,
can now get in the match as much as they want.
But looking at Shane Taylor, how much are they going to want? Official Williams trying to keep this in the ring. And Dupree with a flagpole. Dupree just hit Shane Taylor. That was not a good idea.
We probably should have swung for the fences on that.
Oh my God. Shane Taylor broke the flagpole and then broke Dupree's jaw. Bell sounds, Pollock from behind. These men have met before, Farnsworth, in the infancy of their Pittsburgh careers in another organization, and Taylor left Jack Pollock battered and bloodied. It was one of the most violent matches I've ever called in this area.
To be fair, Taylor has a habit of doing that. I don't know that makes Jack Pollock all that special.
And Taylor comes back quicker and more experienced. Boot to the face. Something went flying. I hope it wasn't the body part. Splash in the corner.
And we're used to seeing the Shane Taylor with the unmitigated power. But look at the quickness and agility now that he's dropped down and thinned out a little.
And hasn't lost a bit of that power. Even thinned out, he's still over 300 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, it's a figurative thinned out.
I don't notice Dupree and Argos quick to jump. Put it that way.
Well, I don't see Dupree right now doing anything except...
I wish you guys at home could be here to hear the gunshot-like reverberation of that chop.
That sounded gross, for lack of a better term. Just out and out gross.
And Taylor the side slam. I noticed Taylor held Pollock up there as long as he wanted, let him think about what was coming and when.
Gave a wink to the camera, and then drove him into the canvas.
And Taylor does not mind that Pollock's with Argos and Dupree. He's going to give chase anyway. Argos and Dupree, smartest move they ever made. Oh, God.
Well, I mean, Argos is in an arm sling, and Dupree is probably crippled from that strike that Taylor hit him with earlier.
And you could name anybody up and down the Ring of Honor roster. They've either had to face Shane Taylor or they paid Shane Taylor to hurt somebody else. That's ultimate respect as far as the physical damage this man can do.
Oh, God. Like getting hit with a skillet.
No remorse in the eyes of Taylor when an old acquaintance called and had the right dollar figure. Taylor was more than happy to acquiesce. Oh, and with Dupree and Argos begging Taylor to let up, I don't think it's happening anytime soon. What is this? Oh my God! That thick leg left Jack Pollock limp.
I think he may have shifted a rib. Good Lord.
And Taylor's almost daring Team Storm to do something. Taylor's taking a preemptive strike.
And Team Storm getting out of dodge.
Dupree is still holding his jaw. He may not be right for a week. Every shot. Oh, you gotta believe those are for Jenny Plummer. Those are for all the sick games that Pollock played. You hear that? Taylor asking Pollock to apologize to the Plumbers.
That didn't really sound like an ask. That sounded more like a command.
What's Dupree doing? Argos and Dupree have separated. Oh, Taylor charging her, and Dupree pulled Pollock out of the way.
And then Dupree got out of there like a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory.
Argos had separated to the other side, so Taylor would keep his peripheral on him, but Dupree was waiting in the wings to save Jack Pollock. Pollock. And there are several blood vessels opened up on Pollock's chest.
Yeah, you can see it pretty good from here.
And I'm not sure Pollock has ever been more universally despised in IWC than he is right now.
I don't know, that guy seems to like him.
Yeah, but you're pointing to Dupree.
Oh, behind him.
That's Argos.
No, behind him.
Oh.
He has a sign that says Jack is going to kill you.
I notice he's not bold enough to hold up, is he?
Yeah, I don't blame him at the moment.
And Taylor head first into the edge of that ring post. And Pollock, look it out. Jack has a brace on that knee. You got to believe there's an injury there. Oh. And Taylor not letting up. Oh my God. Oh, got her! Pollock hit head first. Pollock's skull was the first thing that collided with the ground.
And Pollock is crawling away.
Yeah, look at a crawl of safety to salvation. My God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! Shane Taylor cannonball! Oh, nobody saw it coming until it was too late. Pollock sandwiched between 300 plus pounds of running locomotive and a steel guardrail.
Dupree noticed, and I feel it's worth mentioning, Dupree didn't try and save his boss out of that one. He got his own rear end out of the way.
He didn't have time to, even if he wanted to. Again, talking about that speed and mobility you touched on earlier. If Shane Taylor tells you move, you move! Good God! Taylor almost took out the whole front row with Pollock's body.
And Argos yelling a warning.
As Taylor said to Team Storm before the match, do something about it. That challenge still stands.
Yep.
Shane Taylor making sure a youngster didn't get caught in the crossfire there. But make no mistake about it, Taylor's here to collect money and conduct business. And right now, business is pretty damn good.
Oh, and Dupree questioning whether or not he wants his dental bills to go even higher.
Taylor daring Pollock to hit him. And Pollock giving it all he's got. Wobbly legged. But Taylor just rocks him. Shane Taylor smiling. Daring Pollock to give his best shot. My God.
And Taylor just throwing those right crosses right into the jaw.
And Pollock the elbow. A Dupree celebrating like he won a world title. But man, we still got a lot of road to plow. Oh, Pollock and elevate Taylor.
I like the idea. I admire the gumption. But just because he lost a little weight.
Oh my God! Pollock a picture perfect spine buster. Got him though.
He couldn't figure out where to pin. He was just rolling around on the mass that is Shane Taylor.
And Farnsworth, I don't know if we have a camera shot, but I noticed right behind the guardrail near the entranceway, Jeff Cobb has come out and is watching this matchup.
Really?
You can see, we can see from our vantage point, not sure what his vested interest is. Look at Pollock! Pollock elevating Taylor! That fireman's carry driver! Pollock's got it now!
No!
And Team Storm is stunned! Pollock has put away many a man that way, but Shane Taylor is no ordinary man.
I was going to say, hell, Shane Taylor's not any ordinary men.
Pollock to his feet. But Pollock can barely keep his footing. Those shots are resonating, but you gotta believe he doesn't have everything behind him.
He's laying in with what he can.
And again, these men are no strangers to these wild matches as Taylor, knee to the jaw. Pollock is rocked.
You wouldn't have expected that from the old Shane Taylor.
And a second time. Pollock made it out. The official trying to see if Jack can continue. What is Argos doing? Argos has powder in his hand. Taylor's looking right at him. What a maroon.
What a gullible.
Speaking of baby powder, Argos may just wet himself. This powder, no reason.
You may need a change.
Argos into Dupree. Good night, sweet prince. Went Pollock the boot. Taylor countered. Knockout shot. Uranagi. And Taylor the splash. Now Dupree. Dupree just saved his meal ticket.
Like I said, it's legal. There's no disqualifications.
That may be the last thing Dupree ever does. Dupree just made himself a target. And the chase is on. Wait. Oh, Pollock got the boot that time.
Big kick.
Pollock got the boot. No. Again, Taylor survives. With professional and personal stakes at hand, Taylor will not stay down. Dupree saw his life flash before his eyes. Argos is completely motionless. He's unconscious. but somehow the two in the ring press on.
And Dupree checking on Argos now at ringside.
Taylor caught Pollock in midair. My God, sit out driver! Pollock's done, and Dupree again has to save Pollock. And Dupree's love for Pollock has completely caused him to go off the deep end.
If I were him, I would just run right now. Get up and run.
No sane man should do that. Oh my God. RC had a good run. Goodbye! Mike, it's like he got shot out of a car crash. Oh, Pollock downstairs. Pollock getting desperate. Hits the boot again. Right to the side of the jaw. Pollock just pinned Shane Taylor. Pollock may have had to sacrifice his health, his well-being, and the only two people that like him. But Pollock found a way around Plummer's largest roadblock.
And if I don't know that I would stick around to celebrate that win, because eventually Taylor's going to get his footing again, and I wouldn't want to be there. Once he's able to reiterate, retaliate, recompensate for what was done to him.
I'll tell you what, though. Pollock may have got his hand raised, but he paid for his sins. He got taught a lesson whether he'll have done it or not. Shane Taylor took it out on Pollock's hide in a big, big way. And again, imagine how it eats away a Plummer that his trump card, the ace up his sleeve, Shane Taylor, fell short. No other way to put it. And this issue with Plummer and Pollock is very personal. And thankfully we have bodies out here to separate them.
Jack, you use these two pieces of trash to do your dirty work. Shane was gonna kill you tonight. 1,001, you pull that trash to weasel your way out of the punishment you deserve for putting your hands on my damn wife.
This is so uncomfortable.
It's over for you. Clause 14. We're back here for level midnight. You're done. So I got just the guy for you.
Who you got, Plummer? Who you got?
It's going to be no disqualification, no count out, balls down anywhere, street fight. And it's going to be Jack Pollock, you son of a bitch. Versus me.
What? Think about this, Justin. You're not a wrestler. I know you've got pride, you want to defend your family, but this is not a good idea. I do not condone this at all.
Not a wrestler, not a fighter. This is your ego getting in the way. It's not a smart move.
Well, the battle lines are drawn here. I don't know that Plummer will have Shane Taylor by his side. I don't know if he feels he needs anybody by his side, but Plummer is stepping into Jack Pollock's territory, and love him or hate him, Jack Pollock is one of the best. It's great to see Shane Taylor back, but Justin Plummer, What have you done? Is he going to wake up tomorrow second guessing this?
It's too late. You can't. You've made the challenge publicly. You can't walk away now. You're in a gunfight. I hope you learned how to shoot.
And that's not even withstanding Argos, Dupree. We've seen what they've done individually, let alone 3-on-1. And I don't know, man. Plumber, I'll be rooting for you.
February 17th is a day that I'll never forget. February 17th is a day the IWC fans will never forget. February 17th is a day that Keith Hott will never, ever forget. You know, Keith, there was a time when I truly cared for you, a time when I did have your back. But as we seem to fall further and further down the ladder, I found myself unable to relate to your optimism, unable to relate to your innocence. Keith, you seem to forget that when I was laid out, left for dead, and put on the shelf for 10 months, it was you that moved on without me. That was your choice. You made a choice, and at the same time, you made mine. And my choice were two brothers, Atticus and Otis, two brothers who treated me like their own. And when it was time to put my decision into action, they were right by my side. Keith, we will not stop until we have taken everything you love. Our Armageddon has arrived. And we're just getting started.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is a special tag team attraction set for one fall.
Well, a moment ago we saw propaganda here in the arena from Remy LeVay and the Cobra Brothers. The culmination is still out to destroy everything Keith Hott stands for and ruin his life and career. But from one destruction to another, we got to talk about a bounty, J-Word. LeRusso has 25 large, $25,000 to whoever can eliminate the Titan Dennis Jaxon from IWC Wrestling. We've seen some heavy hitters. No one's come close to collecting.
It's a tough road to try and get to that 25,000 because there's a Titan in the way.
But if anybody can, it might be this man. The man with war in his name, and LeBar has been wheeling and dealing to protect that championship and protect Wardlow. LeBar out here with the IWC Tag Team Championships.
I guess.
We know LeBar had formed a relationship with the fraternity at 17. We have not seen the fraternity since.
Show some respect, huh?
But apparently, LeBar has seen them.
Got a few pieces of business. First off, I always want to look out for my friends. I'd like to say a big congratulations to my close personal friend, Alex Ovechkin, who is now a Stanley Cup champion.
I got a call from LeBar the other night.
Ambassador to Team LeBar. bar. Way to go, Alex.
Telling me that he was going to Ragnarok it like he was Taika
Now, speaking of
Waititi.
championship,
I had to look that up.
earlier this year,
He's
the
over the
IWC
moon about
Tag
the
Team
cap.
Champions of Fraternity were smart enough to add me as their official representation.
They were smart enough, not you shifty enough. You manipulate people, Lamar.
Due to some contractual nonsense with IWC management, probably because they're Canadian, they will not be with IWC for an indefinite amount of time. That means, legally, these titles belong to me. So, sooner
What law is that?
rather than later, I, Justin LeBar, will crown new IWC Tag Team Champions. And once again, speaking of championship, show the respect for the IWC Heavyweight Champion of the world, the man with more in his name, Wardlow!
Well, LeBar says he's going to crown new tag team champions. I can only assume that means LeRusso and Wardlow. But that's not the story here. I'm with you, Jay. I don't know about these bylaws. Some shifty business, I think.
Which I think is... I think shifty business is the only business that Plummer knows. So,
LeBar, that is.
I'm sorry. I meant LeBar.
But I'll tell you this. Dennis Jaxon gets more and more mammoth every time we see him. Amazing agility. Jack Pollock couldn't collect the bounty. An entire battle royal couldn't collect the bounty in Meadville. We've seen 6-man tags, 8-man tags. This man's barely had a dent been put in him. Palace brings the energy, brings that wild Spasmanian nature, feeding off the energy of these fans, and also at the forefront of his mind, the IWC Championship he beat Wardlow for in December, but lost a couple of months ago amidst that shifty business. We saw Storm, the fraternity, the main event, Gannon Jones Jr. and Duke Davis. So many moving parts surround the IWC title picture, and in the chaos, in the fracas, LeBar and Wardlow found a way to recapture that title, and hell, I guess the tag titles as well.
I'm still a little unclear on that.
Well, we'll have to pursue that on IWCWrestling.com and social media, because the story here is Palace recruiting a partner that we all know has had Chris LeRusso's number for many, many months. We know Palace can beat Wardlow. He's the only person on this roster we say for a fact can. How do you stack up the odds for both these teams?
I have no idea what these people are chanting. Odds as far as the teams go, how do you bet against? We know that Palace can beat Wardlow.
Look at this. Underneath quickly back suplex.
We know that no one's been able to beat Jaxon.
Oh my God.
How do you not bet on him?
Oh, hard right hand. And I'll tell you what, Palace and LeRusso have had years of bad blood as well. And LeRusso caught Palace right in the jaw. Remember a couple of years ago, LeRusso poured rubbing alcohol in Palace's eyes?
Yes.
LeRusso has no conscience when it comes to dealing with those he despises. And
as evidenced by the fact that he's willing to spend $25,000 to take out the Titan.
And you got to believe that there was some sort of high money deal between LeRusso and LeBar. I'm not sure who came to who first, but there's obviously a lot of mutual benefit in this situation for that team. Oh, God. And the Titan may end LeRusso before this match starts. LeRusso out of the way.
And
Titan felt a fly land on him.
Some strikes just bouncing off the physique of the Titan.
Drop kick? No. Brush that off. Titan's gotten bigger since his entrance.
If I were LeRusso, I'd run and get a roll of nickels.
Yeah, and head to the bus station with it because there's nothing he's going to do with him here.
And if you're intent on hitting him, you're going to need some help because what you've brought to the table so far is not having an impact.
And Titan serves LeRusso up to Palace. I think Titan's toying with LeRusso. He knows that any moment he can just snap him.
What the?
LeRusso went for a high knee. Palace had it scouted. Facebuster connects. Check out the power! The power of Andrew Palace. Curb stomp, modified style. And Palace getting into Wardlow's fist. I'd love to see Palace and Wardlow one-on-one one more time.
I'd be happy to call that match.
What? Look at the bar's got Titan's leg. Titan barely noticed. And that diversion allowed LeRusso to send Palace back into enemy territory. Could you imagine LeBar, how intimidated he was getting near Titan like that?
He was happy to walk away there. I don't think he actually wanted to pull him off the apron.
No, not at all.
Because then you have Titan off the apron and staring at you.
That's one of those physics things. As Wardlow opens up with Palace, 3 some odd years, Palace is the only man in this company to have beaten Wardlow. And he needed to tear the ring out apart to do it. Oh. Just unmatched intensity from the man with War in his name.
And he keeps looking over at Jaxon.
Is that, I think he's daring Jaxon? Is he trying to intimidate him? Cover. 2 count. I would love to watch Wardlow attempt to collect the bounty.
Well, I think if there's anyone in the company that could, it might be him.
I'm sure LeBar would get a hefty percentage of that as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he winds up with the tag titles due to shady business, I'm only assuming he's ending up with a good.
Hey there. We apologize for that. Wardlow on top, 2 count only.
Wardlow letting him know he was number 11.
Something like that. Wardlow showing he's got no respect for anybody. He's his own man, except of course for, well, the company he keeps.
Which, to be fair, the company he keeps has got him to the title twice.
Palace being double teamed. Also nearly cost him that title for good.
But it did nearly.
I digress. Cheshire Cat grin from LeRusso. You can tell he's on cloud 9. Palace battling free, but the momentum took him into a drop kick. Can Palace get the tag? No, LeRusso the cover. 2 count only.
And now just fish hooking him.
And keep in mind, keeping with the theme of the night, Jay, we're 2 former Super Indy champions in the ring right now. And Palace trying to fight his way free, but LeRusso, textbook tag team offense here, cuts that ring off at its hypotenuse, neutralizes Palace, keeps him away from Jaxon.
I also want to point out 2 former World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, wait a second.
Champions.
Palace is reaching for the Titan. Couldn't get there in time. Wardlow up. A Wardlow powerbomb. Palace struggling. Can he? No. Wardlow adjusted. Palace nearly slipped out, but couldn't. And Wardlow on top.
Palace tried to shift his weight and get himself out of that powerbomb, and Wardlow just powered right through.
That's one of those trademark lax Wardlow covers. He doesn't cinch in. Sometimes it's only 1 foot. But more often than not, to his credit, it doesn't matter.
I don't know that he wanted the pin at this point.
Well, I think Wardlow should, not that he does, but he should know better than to toy with Palace. Palace surprised him once before. But perhaps that's advice from a bar. It's LeRusso martial arts background. He doesn't show it frequently, but it's prevalent as a near fall that time.
And the plan so far seems to have been make sure we keep Palace away from the tag.
Oh, backdrop! Well, as you said that, Palace the tag. Here come the big boys. It is Wardlow and the Titan, nose to nose, Saturday night at Super Indy 17.
Well, it's not often you see Wardlow being the shorter of the two men.
Oh, you can feel it's going to explode any second here. Palace cuts LeRusso off at the pass. What is this? I think Palace just realized. Oh! Titan held Palace's hand. Titan is supposed to be Palace's partner. And he just sent Palace to hell. This match is thrown out. What in the world just happened?
Ladies and gentlemen, referee CJ Sensation has ruled this a no contest.
So did Titan collect the bounty on himself?
And there goes the referee. He may have that match, Jayworth. Titan is apparently aligned with LeRusso. I don't think Wardlow even knew what was happening. Wait a minute, here comes the backup for Palace. Billy Ruxpin of the STDs. Oh, God! That's 300 pounds. Elevated like it's nothing. Pump Ferrari.
No.
Oh, no.
Pump.
Goodbye. He was Pump Ferrari. Choke breaker. Help it running out here and try to help Palace to try to stop this carnage. But it's only making it worse. Ruxpin got planted.
And you saw all the whiplash with the amount of force that the Titan hit him with.
And Palace is being mugged. Here's chest flexor and Corey Futuristic, Ginger. The rest of the STDs. Chest flexor won't back down from anybody. We know that.
Oh
no.
He's lost in his shirt.
Well, that wasn't the best thing to do. Corey's left on his own with Titan. Wardlow's got Flexor. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Like Corey was weightless. Oh. Apparently, LeRusso and LeBar had a grander plan. A couple of emphatic covers.
Well, I said sooner rather than later and sooner met now. Ladies and gentlemen, your new IWC Tag Team Champions and newest members of Team LeBar, LeRusso and the Titan, Jaxon.
Perhaps the first title ever decided through a no contest.
And that's suspect in itself. Wait a minute. We got backup. That's the main event, Dan the Duke.
The problem with being the tag champs is you're going to have tag challengers.
Absolutely. And I think they are upset that they weren't in the running for tag team champions. They should have been the top contenders. They just watched the titles get handed to somebody else. Gannon and Duke have been chasing those titles since they lost them last fall, and they're more upset than anybody. Those titles got handed to two men that didn't deserve them, which I guess is LeRusso and Dennis Jaxon. And LeBar has almost all the championships.
And there are bodies just laying around the ring. There are two big men, angry as hell.
Thankfully they had Palace's back. Palace is hurt. He is battered. He is damaged.
We haven't seen Corey Futuristic get up yet. I don't know what happened to Billy Ruxpin. Chest flexor, looks like he's having some back issues laying on the apron.
But I think the battle lines have been drawn. LeBar's got the championships, but these men have a rightful claim, and they're coming for an opportunity sooner than later.
You dirty dogs.
Oh, wait a second.
What is that?
That's high-stakes champion Marshall the Bull.
You know, I got the night off tonight, but it looks like you can't keep your dirty noses out of anybody's business. You've been dogging me for 3 months, every chance you get. You had the balls to challenge me in a show in Erie in 2 weeks. You just can't leave me alone. But, just to let you know, next month, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to defend the high-stakes title. How's that sound? Yeah, right here, right there. Right there, yeah, right there. But.
What are we hearing?
I'm going to defend this title.
Champion can pick the stipulation.
And that fits perfectly with you. A dog collar match. Why are you getting all excited? I didn't say I'm fighting you. I'm fighting the bitch.
What?
I'll see you next month, honey. I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Marshall the Bull challenged Ginger? She's not a wrestler. What is Marshall pulling here? Marshall's gone way over the line.
I don't know. I have so many questions. There's so much to unpack with this situation.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is the final match in the 17th annual Super Indy Tournament, and this match is for the IWC Super Indy Championship.
The product David Starr survived Jeff Cobb and also survived the reigning champion Gory. His IWC debut after winning Best of the Best in CZW earlier this year, will Starr attach his name to the list that includes Adam Cole, Josh Alexander, Dylan Bostic, RJ City, Facade, Sammy Callahan, Egotistical Fantastico, DJZ, Superhead Tie, Jerry Lynn, Larry Sweeney, Delirious, John McChesney, Chris Sabin, and Colt Cabana as prior winners. The bulk majority of those talents went on to huge success in major promotions. David Starr is still in his 20s, he's got the world ahead of him, but he's already world traveled several times over, and he's used to big-time, high-pressure situations. The Octopus Jonathan Gresham. This is the third time in a row he's walked into the finals. Super Indy 15 defeated Shook D and Andrew Palace. Super Indy 16 defeated Jay White and Chris LeRusso. Succumbing to eventual winners, Josh Alexander and Adam Cole. As we see some gamesmanship early, Starr extends the rope. That's come back to haunt both his opponents already. Gresham a bit smarter.
Gresham is walking to the ring tenderly.
Yeah.
Introducing the participants. First, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 193 pounds. He is the cream in your coffee.
Oh no, that's what I was afraid of.
Favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, the Jewish Cannon, the physical embodiment of charisma, the most entertaining man in professional wrestling, the Bernie Sanders of professional wrestling, the best of the best, Mr. Americana, Davey Wrestling, the 104-minute man, the main event. He's really good at Twitter. The king of cons, the product, David Starr.
104-minute man refers to a matchup he had a couple of years ago. We know he's got the endurance to go the distance.
And his opponent, from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 165 pounds, the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham.
Gresham has a sore everything. He still has the medical tape on his knee. You can see it protruding around his rib cage as well. Gresham is damaged goods, but he's certainly somebody who's earned the respect of these fans. And this is crunch time here for Super Indy 17. And to show you how difficult this is, I'm going to read you a list of names. Christopher Daniels, Raven, CM Punk, Cesaro, Matt Sydal, Too Cold Scorpio, Johnny Gargano, Elias, Sami Zayn, Kalisto, Ray Rowe, ACH, and a guy named Corey Graves. All those men entered Super Indy and failed to ever win one. That's how competitive the field is. That's how hard of a test this is on your mettle, on your endurance, on your psychological game, your mental prowess. Not to mention how long your body can simply hold up amidst the punishment. We're talking about Starr, the amateur background, proficient since age 7. Gresham is a mat master and perhaps has met no equal. When he was defeated by Josh Alexander, Josh used his power game. Adam Cole is a more well-rounded striker.
Oh.
And Starr zeroes in on the ribs.
Start early. You know where he's hurt. Go there. I feel it's also worth pointing out, I can't tell if it's a bruise or a laceration or what, but Starr has something across his back.
It is no frills from Starr as he just applies pressure to the areas others have already damaged, and it's more than enough to cause great discomfort in Jonathan Gresham.
He sees the tape as well as we do. He knows where to attack.
Gresham undaunted, undeterred, back in the ring. Gresham slips in with a single leg, attempting to take Starr down, trips him up. Again, Gresham's mobility is compromised. He's not able to get the full extension on his reach. But trying to get over top of Starr and ride him, Starr slips in from behind and now controls Gresham by the leg.
And now the wrist.
Starr staying mobile, staying ahead of Gresham as best he can. That's Gresham the side headlock, winds him around, takes him over. Both men to a standstill.
And Starr pointing at Gresham's ribs and saying, "You feeling that?"
And let's talk about what an accomplishment this is already for Gresham, as I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to continue. Gory has been in 8 Super Indies. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
He's been a Super Indy finalist once out of those 8 times. Gresham has been here 3 times in a row. No one else can say that's unfathomable to be able to accomplish just that much. And the crowd renting space in Starr's head.
Are you sure you're okay to wrestle?
Jayworth, I'm beginning to think that Gresham should not be in this ring right now.
He doesn't, but you don't have a choice. I mean, for as often as he's gotten to this point, it's a rarity to have a chance to win the Super Indy Tournament.
I know it will be a heartbreak for Gresham, who immediately zeroes in on the arm.
I mean, while I understand your concern and the whole idea of think about your future, you also have to realize the rare opportunity that you have in the present.
But I also understand that Gresham's got his whole career ahead of him, and yeah, he's come close twice before. He's come close tonight, but maybe it's just not his destiny. And Gresham's going to that arm quickly, not wasting any time, not wasting any opportunity.
But you do not know your destiny until after the fact. You can't just say, well, this isn't my destiny. I'm going to give up this amazing opportunity.
And Starr could sense Gresham was zeroing in for the kill in the early going. Starr creates distance, slows it down, makes sure his faculties are in order.
Yeah, Starr has several, I can't tell if it's bruises or contusions or what across his back.
Yeah, definitely battle scars, to say the least. As David breaks whatever count there may have been. And that could be just as easily from Jeff Cobb or Gory. Those marks. Gresham survived Jaxon, Argos, and Janella, of course. But man, they did their damage. And again, I don't believe Gresham came into this tournament 100%. He came in with that knee wrapped. But he's still here. I'll give him credit, all credit in the world. He's been a marathon man. I think Gresham's cumulative Super Indy time may start to rival almost anybody that's been in Super Indy, let alone any of the back-to-back stipulations I laid out earlier.
And wow, look at this. Just doggedly staying on him.
And Gresham knows he has to. Keep Starr in close quarters and keep a control over him. If this matchup opens up, Gresham may not be long for this world.
Both with amateur backgrounds, and it made apparent there.
Starr able to take Gresham overhead, compromise the wrist. Gresham able to trap the free leg, and now Starr's not let up on the wrist, though. Gresham bending the ankle across his own skull to try to compromise Starr, and finally wrenched it hard enough that Starr had to break the grip on the wrist. That is great counter wrestling.
Using his head as a leverage point.
Starr gets these scissors cinched in. He has trapped Gresham, but Gresham is squirming, is crawling, doing whatever he can to get leverage on his side. Gresham popped up. Starr put him right back down.
No, he's not sure where to... He's ready for it. There we go.
And Gresham had countered, floated into the side headlock, and Starr was waiting to capitalize and wrenching that head and neck, just crimping it under the pressure of the leg strength of David Starr. And Gresham counters back on top. I'm not sure that we've ever seen a Super Indy final even remotely like this.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Needless to say, David Starr, not the home field advantage.
No, I don't think he was looking to make any friends.
Gresham bridging up, finding a new counter out of the scissors. Still overtold now as he maintains the contact on the legs and drives the elbow down to the small of the back.
And, oh, look at this, a bow and arrow.
Oh, Starr on top. Starr on top. Rolled through the pressure for two.
It might have been a little ostentatious to attempt that move if the ribs hurt the way they are.
Well, you notice Gresham came up favoring the ribs. And Gresham very gingerly, I think, adjusting either his trunks or the tape underneath them. And this is running major space in Gresham's head. Gresham knows that he's got several bullseyes on his body.
He also realizes what's at stake. I mean, for all of his bad-mouthing of it, I'm sorry, for both of them realize what's at stake. Both Starr and Gresham.
Gresham had a hold of the leg, but Starr responded in kind and wrenched down before Gresham was able to. And turns over. Well, we're talking about the Canadian advantage or lack thereof. A sharpshooter by David Starr, center of the ring. And you can see the torque being put on. The knee in the back that time. And to your point about the elevated Boston Crab earlier, Starr getting that kind of torque out of the sharpshooter.
A torture Sesorigame.
And a handful of face is now wrenching the knees down into the small of the back.
And now he just steps on those sore ribs. You know, Joe, if I could take a moment here, it was a year ago that the Super Indy Tournament got national exposure on CNN, and it continues to be one of the biggest tournaments in the world, frankly, as far as independent wrestling goes. And we got to have that exposure because Anthony Bourdain decided he wanted to show Pittsburgh in all of its glory, and this was part of it. And we lost Anthony recently, and he was a hero of mine. And I just wanted to say thank you to him in a public manner for his support of Pittsburgh and what we do here. And I hope you're at peace.
Absolutely. It was a monumental moment for IWC, and Anthony will forever be a part of our history and legacy. But right now, the legacy of Jonathan Gresham may be having to back out of this final as Starr continues to question if Gresham is worthy of competing. Gresham is not going to let up and not going to show how hurt he really is. That tells me he's in a lot of pain because he can't hide it.
Yeah, he's not. He's trying to hide as much as he can, but there's only so much you can hide. Pain is a reaction, not a thought.
Starr takes the leg, Gresham pushes off. Both men counter one another. Crisscross, death press. Starr tried it with Cobb, it was not successful. It was here with the smaller Gresham. Both men are looking for positioning, for leverage, for momentum. Gresham gets tripped up.
And look at that.
Chops the shoulder. Starr has him now.
And I give a lot of credit to David Starr, who it is difficult to be that nimble around a person of a smaller stature. Like it's easy to go under the legs of a 6'6" giant. It's a lot tougher to try and do that with someone of the size and stature of Gresham, who can just as easily squat down and grab you in the middle of that. And Starr relaxing in a let's go casual manner.
Starr in a relaxed pose. Gresham, a pained one.
You can't hang, man. You can't hang.
And again, even just a moment ago, Gresham kicking out of that offense. That in itself is going to take so much out of Gresham's body. And Starr, I think, got a little too comfortable.
And I don't know that I would want to go chop for chop with someone like Gresham.
No. And again, Starr has gone 104 minutes in one match before. Gresham has got to be over 45 to 50 minutes just tonight alone. Starr probably not quite as long, but certainly has been tested in a big way. Gresham lowers his own foot, slips in over top. Starr's leg got trapped.
Oh, there's the arm.
And Gresham jumps down. Gresham could have dislocated that arm and shoulder. Starr favoring heavily, but with that one explosion, the crowd comes alive for the octopus.
Almost a truncated form of La Mystica. And he landed with great impact right into that shoulder. And now just joint manipulate. Oh!
Starr to the ribs.
Just grabbing a handful of the ribs and squeezing.
The sounds tell the story.
Nope. Oh! Whatever a love tap is, that's the opposite.
The official signaling he believes it was above where it shouldn't have been. But the damage is done, and Gresham now goes back to manipulating the arm.
The wrist, the elbow, the joint of the shoulder.
Starr gets dropped. One count only. And again, I don't think the 3 counts the goal right now. He's just trying to trap Starr beyond escape. Now he traps him. Starr bridges.
Notice wrong neck bridge. Oh, and a sweep of the neck.
Gresham rendered the shoulders motionless. Starr had to adapt. My God, just uncomfortably twisting that arm, that wrist. Look at the angle. That is, the human body is not meant to go that way.
And even if he wants to tap, he doesn't really have a hand free to do it.
Gresham chops the shoulders. 2 count only. Now the arm drag.
And you can hear the audience just yelling tap at David Starr.
Well, the crowd would love to see David Starr pay for his words earlier. And Gresham still moving gingerly, trying everything he can to make that a reality.
And that arm definitely showing damage now.
Without question. Does it compare to the damage Gresham has faced? Gresham is systematically taking apart that left arm, rendering it potentially useless here. Starr pushes off. And that shoulder tackle, again, just sends that rush of pain up Starr's body.
I mean, his shoulder doesn't look dislocated, but that doesn't mean it didn't pop out and back in or some sort of damage there.
Starr the slam, but Gresham held on. And that modified key lock, that Chimera, call it whatever you will. Starr is trapped pretty close to the center at a very, very awkward angle. Gresham lost his leverage for a moment. Starr's taller. If he gets to his feet, he alleviates that leverage. Arm drag doesn't work. Oh, got him on the rebound, but Starr hangs on. What an amazing exchange, mid-ring collision. Nobody budges.
Shoot two cannonballs at each other and see what happens. Starr clearly having issues with that arm. He's slapping it like he's trying to get feeling back into it, but I don't know how much feeling you actually want when you know that's going to be pain.
Cover. I'm not sure if that was even an intended cover, just stepping on the ribs of Gresham. And these fans are, I've had it with David's attitude, not to mention his... I'll let them tell the story. But he could be the next Super Indy champion. And how would that change IWC?
I mean, it means he would have to keep coming back to a city that he doesn't like nearly as much as Philadelphia.
And notice Starr is not taking any risks. And he's keeping Gresham to the ground, which keeps Gresham away from that badly damaged left arm.
And frankly, he's not using that hurt arm and trying to give it a chance to recover a little.
He can't take that. He can't take that. What you want to do? I'm telling the ref what you can't take it. Get back up, David. Get back up.
And they get a hard right, the still healthy arm. Right to the rib cage. And bending back, and notice Gresham has to carry all of David Starr's body weight.
Well, he got some distance there.
Oh, Gresham bends the hand, bends the wrist again. Starr maybe made a mistake when he put his wrist out there. Gresham remembered it as a weak point. Pace quickens. Abdominal stretch.
Not where he wants to be.
Notice Gresham did not have the speed he would have normally. Starr was able to adjust accordingly. And the intercostals, the rib cage, all that cartilage is being stretched to hell.
And Starr getting a little leverage there.
Yeah, quite illegally so. As if he needed it. He could easily get a tap out. And I can't recall many times Gresham's tapped out. But the official has caught the infraction. What is this? The official breaks the illegal grip, and Gresham's got an opening. Kick to the damaged arm. That's usually a setup for Gresham. The arm is susceptible, but so is Gresham. Can Gresham adjust?
He's hit that kick 2 or 3 times now. You know he has to be looking for that arm submission.
Gresham stirring as Starr attempts to regain feeling. Gresham has the arm. Hard forearm.
But Gresham is not letting go of that arm.
Yeah. Starr was trying to create distance, but Gresham has a death grip on that arm, and Starr can't shake it. And that shot stunned Gresham, to say the least.
men essentially tied at the wrist, throwing chops into each other.
Oh. Keep in mind the damage back from the beginning of the night. Gresham! Oh, what a gut check, German suplex bridge! No!
And I don't know if you noticed, but when Starr threw that shot into Gresham's midsection, he immediately clutched his arm. He's lost it as an offensive weapon, or at least an offensive weapon without repercussion.
And now Gresham. Get it. Attempt to quicken the pace. Starr was a step ahead there. Wait. Backslide, backslide. No. Oh! And down on the arm again. Gresham. Back to what brought him here.
No.
Can he get the octopus?
No,
he got it that time. Will Starr tap out? Does Gresham have enough strength in the body to keep it on? He doesn't. And then tilt-a-whirl again. A second time. Gresham dropped right in the ribs. David Starr. Has he done it? No. Oh, God. And almost a look of hopelessness on the face of David Starr as he processes what's happened, or perhaps what hasn't happened.
And now is when both men have to dig deep and decide just how much they're willing to sacrifice and give here. How much is left in the tank, in the reserve tank.
Starr hanging on to Gresham. He's trying to trap the arm for the Pollock placement. That's what beat Cobb. Gresham perhaps hanging on to his Super Indy dreams by a thread. And now powering his way out.
Arms up, no.
If Starr can hit this match is over.
Starr is trying to lock his hands.
The next step's German, but he can't. Gresham to his feet. But what did it take out of Gresham? Snap German suplex. Oh, the forearm rocks him. Hook in the leg. No.
He barely got out of that.
And still we press on.
He shoved him just off the axis, just enough to get a shoulder up at 2 7/8.
And Gresham taking a chance, but again, it's taking so much time.
And Starr right to the ribs.
David, stay strong,
Gresham caught the arm upstairs, up on the ropes.
Yeah, but only for a moment. Starr shot to those ribs that he's neutralized, and Starr's going superplex. Starr connects. Starr hangs on. Oh my God! Gresham and Starr both caught up, and both an awkward, violent landing to the floor.
Good Lord, I think they both wrenched their necks. I can see that Gresham grabbed his knee. That pad is also down.
Gresham hit hard on the apron and the floor. Starr almost a whiplash effect as the ropes bounced back into him. I'm not sure who got the worst of it. Starr had less control. Gresham had the harder surface.
Well, neither's moving, if that gives you any indication.
And the official is at 7. What an unbelievable effort this is. Starr is back in. Will he win the Super Indy title by count out? Gresham is in for the 4th time tonight. Gresham narrowly avoids a count out. And now we count in the ring.
I am baffled how either man is walking, much less continuing to fight.
This match will go down in the annals of Super Indy history as one of the greatest finals or tournament matches, period, we have ever seen every year The stakes keep growing. Every year, people give a little bit more of themselves to reach that ultimate glory. Tonight, we push that to new plateaus. And we're not done yet. Gresham has lost twice before, but it is history, not prophecy. Starr has never been here, but that's no guarantee his first time in will be a happy one.
Starr can't put any weight on that bad arm at this point. And Gresham zeroing in on it.
And again, that arm compromised Starr when he attempted that product placement suplex. But the ribs have compromised everything Gresham's tried to do.
Right in the ear.
And the competitive juices flow heavily. Gresham got rocked. He may have lost his equilibrium on that slap.
No, he's just getting kicked.
Yeah, keeps him down, though. Keeps him from regaining his spirit. Oh, Gresham! Gresham found something somewhere. Nobody budges.
Come on, Starr!
Starr rears back and caught Gresham to the ribs again. Gresham dared Starr to strike. It was pride in the moment, but perhaps not the wisest of moves. To Gory. The German suplex, really style. Starr fires up. Try again. And Starr is still up. Oh, God, Larry. Where are they finding this? Gresham got underneath. Brainbuster. No. But Gresham to his feet. Super kick.
Hard thrust on that.
Gresham the German. Forearm shot. Starr is down. Out at one. I believe we have passed the record for perhaps the longest Super Indy final in history. And they are still giving you everything. No. My God.
Just elbow after elbow to the same point on the jaw.
What is left? It is a true test of wills. Who has that unbreakable spirit? Who can press on undaunted through seemingly insurmountable circumstances? Both men are displaying that currently. Only one can be a champion.
And Gresham's to his feet. Starr still trying to get even to a sitting position.
And every time Gresham has attempted this climb, it's become slower and more painful. But Starr is not moving well either. .450 with the knees. Gresham came down on top of Starr, but didn't get it flush because Starr adjusted. Neckbreaker. Starr has him. No. Jayworth. Gresham's high risk did not pay off. It backfired. And now Starr victorious. No. That's the name of the game. It did not pay off for the Octopus that time, but still Starr could not follow through.
And as the crowd starts chanting what they think, Starr has to be wondering what is it going to take to put Gresham down. He has beat on him and beat on him, and nothing can seem to keep him down for 3.
Starr is first to his feet. But Starr not able to do much with it. Starr is upset. His competitive spirit at a high. Another product placement attempt. Gresham again has the second rope.
He has him away from the rope.
He does. But what is the strength of the left arm of Starr? Can he get Gresham over? Gresham knows exactly where to go to counter.
He's holding on to the arm and hitting elbows into it.
My God, another clothesline. How many of these can one man survive? And now Starr gets ahead of steam. And Gresham sends him to the ropes. Oh, that's how Starr beat Cobb. The DDT was step 1. Product placement, step 2. Another clothesline. And now, product placement. Hooked. Dropped. Gresham is done. No! And Starr is in complete disbelief. And with the cat calls at ringside, coupled with the unwavering spirit of Gresham that has endured through everything. Jay, we thought at the start that Gresham wasn't even going to be able to have this match. Here we sit over a half hour later, we are still going.
And wondering how he's continuing the match.
The longest match in Super Indy history, gotta be. And yet they press on. Jackknife pin, bridge, Starr caught him! Starr caught the rear naked! Gresham bridge to beat Argos, but it didn't work with Starr.
He is center of the ring. He has that choke cinched. He doesn't quite have a body scissor, but he has the legs pinned back, so he can't squirm out.
Yeah, Starr doesn't have the full scissors, but has the leg trapped, and Gresham's fading. Gresham stirs as the official checks the arm. It's almost like feeling that arm get raised forced Gresham to wake himself up, inching to the rope, but Starr riding him.
And he lost the scissors, but he has the back.
Yeah. And Gresham carrying Starr's body weight. When he can barely carry his own, one more time it drops, this is over. No, Gresham eggs on to the official. Gresham has life. And, Starr hits hard into the bundle, and Gresham takes the arm. The Maestra, bridge, isn't enough? No. One leg was exposed. Octopus! Starr is not near a rope.
He just needs to fall forward.
Yeah, Starr's inching, but Gresham keeps pulling Starr's body away. Will Starr get there? Starr is fading. He is trapped. He is cramped. Gresham drops back with it.
It switched into a head scissor and an arm bar.
Yeah, cross-arm breaker style. Will Starr tap. He's still not close enough to the rope. Gresham will rip that shoulder out and take it home with him. Starr tap. Gresham starter. In 3 straight Super Indies, Gresham has spent a combined time of what you gotta believe is roughly 3 hours at least fighting in a Super Indy Tournament. 3 attempts, 9 challengers. Gresham finally gets the Holy Grail. Jonathan Gresham, maybe the best pure mat wrestler in this world, is the Super Indy champion.
If you want to know if it's your destiny, you have to get to the end of the story. 3rd time's the charm. Congratulations to Jonathan Gresham. A hard-fought path to get to that title.
Damage to the ribs, the back, the knees, and untold other injuries as well. Gresham fought through it all and showed the true Super Indy spirit that has been growing for 17 years strong. You couldn't close it any other way. David Starr may have not had the friendliest of mentalities, but he gave you everything he had tonight and then some.
Hell of a fight, hell of a pair of fighters.
A 3-year journey in IWC culminates a journey that's taken him all over the world his entire adult life. Jonathan Gresham, the hard work pays off. And the victor to address the masses.
I'm not sure what time it is, but I want to thank each and every one of you. That's pretty late for a wrestling show. I want to thank all of you for staying. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of you for staying, like I was saying, but I also want to thank each and every one of you for welcoming me into this locker room, into this company. I don't want to keep you long, but since 2015, maybe not all of you, but a lot of you have messaged me and thanked me for my performances. Professional wrestlers, that is an awesome feeling to have when you paying fans take the time out of your busy days to message us and let us know how much you enjoyed the show. So for the ones of you that booed me, I still love you and I thank you for it. For the ones of you that cheered me, I love you even more and I thank you for that. It took 3 times, but I finally did it. So in closing, I accomplished my goal. I became Super Indy champion. Now my goal is to pit myself against all the best champions of the past and prove myself to be the best IWC Super Indy champion that ever held this belt. So I'm challenging the world. I don't care what company, I don't care what level you are. I want you to come here to IWC because I want to prove, like I've done everywhere else, and now it's time for here to prove that I am exactly what I say I am, and that is the best technical wrestler in the world. Have a safe drive home. Thank each and every one of you for staying through my rant. I'll see you next time.
It took 3 years to conquer Super Indy, and now it's Gresham versus the world. The most determination perhaps ever in Super Indy history. Jonathan Gresham arrives, and he's ready for the task that follows. He's ready to battle the world.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.